How you doing, guys? This is Judge Dre right here. Thank you for coming out here. Basically, what I'm here today, we're going to talk about what's going on in the current events here. Everyone knows about Steve Stevenson and his shooting here in Cleveland. I see people sitting back here, and everyone is blaming everyone else, or trying to blame Facebook Live, or we're going to blame this company. We should stop, with the freedom of speech stuff. Where really, I'm going to give my opinion from a down level-headed point of view. It's more of our fault than anything. This gentleman right here was going through a whole lot of stuff in his life, and as we as friends and family members and just people around him, we should have been there for him to pull him back to there from the brink of that, so that these events wouldn't have happened. Now, I'm not justifying what he did, but that's one of the problems I noticed with black men nowadays. It's you have to portray this so strong image and all of that to where you look and say don't act tough, or you don't portray the stereotypical hard man image, where you realize that everybody has their breaking points. I mean, we all know this man's name now, but just 3 days before, he was just a normal guy. So technically that could be any of us. We were sitting up here and we're mad about his family, or they got people threatening his girl, or people he worked with and all like that, when we really should say, why weren't we there for each other? We've never been supportive, especially as black people, of one another. Felt that if we were more supportive of each other, and things like this wouldn't happen. Of course, we'd be a lot further than we are, in life. All of us would, because being supportive of your fellow man and respecting your fellow man is actually more important than a lot of people think. It bothers me to see that we can sit up here and we can come to there and we want to build groups to get these people off the internet, or stop this type of computer, these programs, or maybe stop people from sharing the news, whatever. Come together as fellow human beings and be there for a person who was going through depression at that time. So I mean, when people sitting up here saying whose fault it is, I hate to say it's our fault. It's our fault as human beings, because we should have been there for our fellow man to prevent events like this from happening. That's the only true way to prevent an event like this from happening, is that we should have been there for one another. It's hard to sit here and see that we worry about minute things. Like this man evidently had gambling problems and stuff like that, but yet we could spend $200 on a pair of Jordans for what? Most of you guys are going to go ahead and buy you another pair 2-3 months from now, but yet we can spend 20 minutes talking to this man. We maybe could have talked to this man. Events like this probably could have been avoided. Yeah, no, that's what bothers me more than anything. It bothers me that we don't look out for one another. Now, we'll sit here and we'll be on YouTube and we'll fight one another, or we'll sit here and argue with people over the dumbest shit. But we weren't there to, over in a time where someone was in a time of need, which could have preserved another individual's life. This man said that he killed multiple people. I felt that by the way he was talking in the beginning. I said that, oh, guy's probably gonna kill himself. That they're gonna find him dead in that car. I mean, you just knew that. He didn't seem, he seemed like he was just unattached, and you could tell, he had no emotion, so it shows that there's a lot of stuff was going on, and he had just reached his breaking point in life. And a lot of people at times we don't know that a lot of us are actually a lot closer to that breaking point than we think. Because, you know, like I said, the day before, he was just another guy, a counselor for kids, helping at-risk youth. So, I mean, think about it. He dealt with people's problems on a daily basis. He probably saw all the help that these people who had problems were getting. And then when he needed help, none of us were there for him. So, I mean, we're probably just as responsible as anyone else because we weren't there to help another individual. Everybody wants to capitalize on it and say, oh, you know, he was a bitch nigga or this, that, and the other, and want to call them all types of names. When really is, I hate to say, the person we need to really be calling our names is ourselves, because what type of human beings are we? We should have been there for him. We should have done something to help them. Go ahead and put your email address in there. I don't have them all. Let's see. Wait a minute. I'll let you call. There we go. Okay, I do have yours. Okay. There you go. You've been at it, Lethal. But we should have been there for them and just been able to do something and show them that, hey, you know, as Black men, we realize that the world beats you up daily. You are not given any credit for anything you do. Most of the time, you're always looked at as if you're going to be a thug or going to be this, that, or the other. But as our fellow man, we weren't there to sit up here and say, you know what, hey man, you know, he's going through a lot right now. Why couldn't we be there for him to say, hey man, if things ain't that bad, things will be better. I mean, this man sit up here and he helped. Think about some of these children that he may have influenced to get their life together. But then when he was in a time of need, where was everybody to help him? And again, I want to reiterate that it is not to say what he did was not wrong. I'm just saying is what we should have done as fellow Black men before the events happen, so that events like this won't happen in the future. How you doing, Lethal?
What's happening? Hey, you remember when this shit first happened, you called it. You said that dude was gonna off himself, and I was thinking the same shit.
Yeah.
I was like, that dude's gonna kill himself. But see, remember what I said before. You know, one thing that gets ignored and that doesn't get addressed is mental health.
Yes.
For example, if I was going through some shit, whether it was traumatic or whatever, and I went to a psychiatrist to get help, you know what happens? You know what society does?
Label
they
you.
say, oh, they label you. Oh, this motherfucker crazy. Or this motherfucker's a nut job. When truthfully, the true nut job is somebody who don't go get those, that don't go speak to a counselor or, because sometimes I think we don't even need to, you know, sometimes we need somebody who don't know shit about us to vent to. You know, that way we could get like a more unbiased assessment. Because a lot of times if we go to our friends or our girlfriends or our mothers or our fathers or uncles or whatever, you know, sometimes there's going to be some little bias in there.
Yeah.
So when you go to, I'm sorry.
No, I said not even the fact that is, if it's not going to be a bias in there, it's going to be one of those things that's going to be held against you. Or then next time when you go to make a point on a certain situation or a certain subject, people are going to say, well, you were the guy that was depressed last week. So they're going to like use that to, you know, to knock down your credibility.
And see,
that's what's so bad.
Yeah.
About situations like this is, it's like you're damned if you do and you're damned if you don't. If you seek help, then you got to worry about the ramifications for seeking help, because now, oh, this guy right here is depressed like me. I suffer from depression. I get in my mode where I just don't want to talk to no one. I don't want to. I mean, for you guys to probably know me here, you say, "What, Dre? Don't want to talk?" But I just can't. I'm not even going to admit this now. I came off of, say, the last 6-7 days. I sat there. I didn't talk to anyone. Very little conversation. And sometimes my son knows when I get down a little. Very little conversation with him. I'll just say, "How are you doing? How was school?" That's how he can pretty much tell. I'm normally I sit off to myself. I don't really want to be bothered. I shut some responsibilities as an adult that I should be handling, saying that Andre, hey, you need to be getting your behind up going to work, because you might have paid the bills ahead, but they'll be off in 2 months if you don't go to work. And I mean, sometimes you don't need to be sitting here fucking around knowing that bills that are out there that need to be paid.
Right.
I mean, and that's one of the things is I got to call a gentleman I'm working for actually in the morning and let him know so we can see about finishing this job for him. But I mean, sometimes we all go through moments to where it's, you feel like the world is closing in on you. It's just, and then sometimes too, as black men, you just, you get beat up all day. In the media and all like this. That's one thing that gets me with the feminist movement. These women sitting up here talking about women being bashed. What are you talking about? Men, we've been bashed our whole damn lives. I mean, and we've just been told to take the shit. I mean, Rock, I see your comment there. But yeah, we've just been told to take it. We're supposed to take it. That's what men do, this, that, and the other. But after a while, as you see, everybody has their breaking point, and then you say we are human too, and that's one of the things that society has come up to with this saying that these people are, you just weak if you say it like that. No, it's not weak. You just human. You're supposed to feel for your fellow man, and if anyone out here to sit up here and think that this man wasn't going through a thing. I mean, if you can sympathize with the person he killed family, and you need to be able to sympathize too on the other end. We should stop this before it even happens.
Yeah. It's a pretty sad situation. Like, I see that video where he killed that guy, and I'm just like, wow. Now, the problem is, and this is another thing, when a person, think about what good did that do? What purpose did that serve? Because you then took somebody away from these people was crushed. They lost their dad, their grandfather, their great grandfathers, somebody's brother. You know what I mean? Uh-oh. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
I can hear you.
Okay. So, you then took that and you did this at the behest of a chick not wanting you. Now, what happens, what people fail to realize, what you think she's going to do? She moves on with her life. You're 6 feet under at this point.
Right.
So what good was it? And see what dudes have to understand, and what we have to start doing is develop. And I mean, Carlotta talks about this all the time. You have to develop some sort of confidence in yourself, and knowing we are out. The numbers, men to women ratio is like we're outnumbered. So you have other options. I mean, if somebody, the problem is when people don't want to do right by us. Instead of us constantly giving people chances who run around here cheating, who lying to us, and we still, trying to force them to be loyal, we need to have enough willpower to say, you know what? Fuck this. Like I tell people all the time, anybody who, like, for example, if I was in a situation where a female fucked me over, I don't want no contact with her or anybody that she fucking knows. Because when I move, when I'm trying to keep it moving, when I'm trying to go through that healing process, I don't need to be talking to any of those people. Because then what happens is those people know what's going on, whether she mentions it or whatever. So what happens is every time they're contacting you, sometimes that shit is somehow getting back to her, or she is trying to get some information out the shit to see, like, okay, how does he feel or whatever, instead of just saying, you know what, I'm gonna cut ties with all you motherfuckers and I'm gonna move on with my life. Because when you do that, I know it can be a difficult thing, because when you became emotionally tied to somebody, it's difficult to just like say, fuck it, I'm done. It's hard to do that. But like you say, everybody reaches a breaking point, and what's gonna have to happen is, instead of us, there's people who, for example, some motherfuckers, they always got some foolishness going on in their life. And with those people, we usually don't want to take their calls, because it's like, when you're doing the same shit, y'all bickering about the same shit time and time again, then there's no solution. It's like it's constantly happening at least once a week or twice a month or whatever the fuck.
Right.
So the thing is, even with those, when somebody is actually going through something, because people have these behaviors where you like, whoa, what the fuck? Like, if somebody claim and say, look, man, I'm about ready to fucking explode. Instead of a motherfucker reading that message and not responding, somebody need, because someone, and that's probably why he was doing this shit. Like I say, I don't know if it was for attention or if he did it solely because he felt like, okay, I'm gonna go to the extreme since you motherfuckers think this is a game. Y'all think this is a hoax, so I'm gonna go on a killing spree until you motherfuckers believe me. And he just threw all that away. Whatever he's good career and everything. Mm-hmm. Threw it all the fuck away behind the fact that something happened between him and her. And in the end, she's moving on with her life.
I don't even think, when we go by that though, I don't really think it was the fact of just him and her. I think that may have just been like, that was like just a spark at that time, but he was already going through a lot. And that's, just to reiterate on what I was saying, is the stresses of just being a black man, period. It's a lot of stress. I mean, I've told people that, I think that I'm a level head, kind of neutral type of guy. Yeah, I may go off on my little tangents here and there, but they're few and far between. And even to people I say I don't like or not too fond of, I can still give you a biased opinion. And I believe in this situation, the man was going through a lot. He probably figured that, he was in debt up to his ears. He listened to complaints all day, always tried to be a good mentor to kids and stuff like that. I mean, even that people that known him here in Cleveland, that's what they said. I mean, the people that come out and said that we never would expected this.
Right.
You never expected him to do something like that. He just snapped. And he probably figured, hey, everyone else can get help. And we listen to all these kids, or I mentor all these people, and I've helped so many people get their lives back on track. And now I'm going through a rough patch and no one's there for me. Mm-hmm. He said that, his mother and all like them, they interviewed her. I don't know if you've seen her, that they've shown it on the national news, but they've shown his mother here in Cleveland on camera talking. And I mean, especially when you look at how pale she looks and you say, whoa, you're like, that's his mom? But yeah, she was on television talking. And even the way that she responded to the questions and the way she answered the questions, to me, it was like she didn't care too much about him. I got the sense of they weren't very close, and they weren't, you know, he wasn't important to her. And I believe that he probably felt, hey, I'm not important to so-and-so, her, that I love this woman here. I'm not important to the woman I came out of. You know what I mean? The world doesn't care about me. I'm in debt up to my ass. I probably got bills all out to the world. I can't provide a home for my family. I mean, any black male knows the worst way you can hurt. I ain't even gonna say even black man. Any male knows the worst. There ain't nothing, no worse stress on a male that can't provide.
Yep.
You might sit up here and think that, some of them like yeah, I like if my girl taking care of me. But that's it takes a lot, out of the average person if you know that you can't provide. And not, if you're not being able to be a good provider, that just really, really speaks, volumes onto a lot of stress that you could be under.
It's funny you say that because I mean, a lot of times I've even had those bad thoughts about myself when I was like suffering my setbacks or, you know, um, something, you get a disconnection notice and I'm like, oh, fuck, I can't really do nothing because things are slow right now.
Right.
And I don't want to resort to any illegal means because then I don't want to, risk my freedom or put somebody else that I'm with in that type of danger. So it's like that shit, what you just said, I've even dealt with that myself of like worried and like, because I done had moments where I'm like, the best way for me, sometimes I just pack up, get the fuck up out of here. Just so I don't, but then, and so it is a stressful thing. But it's like we all have like different ways of handling shit. It's just like I was talking to a friend of mine today, and she was like, "Well, they really need to ban these live streams. They need to ban Facebook Live. They need to ban Instagram Live." I say, no, they don't, because it's not the platform's fault that people are taking it and doing stupid shit.
Well, not even the fact that is how we sit up here and say we can say if we ban these streams and all like that, that's not going to do anything. I mean, that and problems like events that happened the other day is not going to do anything, because I'm pretty sure these streams have pulled back just as many people who were about to do something crazy than people who have done something crazy on them. It's been many times where I know I felt depressed, but then I get online and we have a conversation about something else, and you would have never thought that I was depressed 10 minutes ago. So, I mean, it could be, something sometimes, I mean, it's going to be good and bad. You know how it is. As soon as there was more than one person on earth, it's going to be, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
If it wasn't live, we would, no, Justin, it wasn't that it was live. It was not live at the time. I don't know why did they keep saying that. He was not on Facebook Live when the event happened. The video, now that's one good thing about living here in the city where it is. The police were already on the scene before the video was uploaded. That's the beauty of living here in a city where we get more news on it. And it's, since it's a big event nearby, we get a lot more news. And on top of that, like, we have our mayor, our police chief. Yeah, our police chief is definitely, he's been on TV so many damn times. I'm tired of seeing Calvin's face. I sit there and laugh. He got the same name as my son. But if I swear to God, if I see Calvin, because Calvin's face is like, I've been tired of him and Mayor Frank Jackson, especially with him. He had a thing a couple years ago where they had 245 cases of like police brutality and complaints on police or whatever here in Cleveland. And they came out and said they said they're going to do an investigate all these cases, right? And out of all the cases, they said the police did nothing wrong in all of those cases that went up there. And I'm sitting up there saying, come on now, that doesn't say corruption, nothing else does. You gonna tell me all these 250 cases that are big enough for them to even be written crap about, that the police did nothing wrong in not one of them cases? Go somewhere, man. You know, he's, you know, and Mayor Frank Jackson and Calvin, whatever his name is, chief of police, they've been a joke here in Cleveland to anybody with, you know, half a brain cell. You know, but no, you heard two different versions of this. What happened is that somebody said Facebook Live, but it was not Facebook Live. A good way to tell for just the average everyday people, think about it. When you're on Facebook Live, there's always some little smiley things floating across the screen when people saying likes or this, that, and the other. If next time you watch a Facebook Live video that's on there, look and see, you'll see all that crap.
Yeah, I do Facebook Live. I know how that shit works.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and that's what I was telling people. I was like, everybody don't use Facebook Live, and everybody don't use this for ill purposes. You just have your idiots who do stupid shit like that, and you know, that's what happens. But the thing is, you can't sit up here and just like put that out there like, okay, well, this person, you know, we need to get rid of this, because that's the same thing that every time shit like this happens. You ever notice every time a mass shooting or what happened last year, or you know, the Sandy Hook, anything like that, the first thing these motherfuckers do is start talking about gun control. And the first thing you have these other idiots doing is saying, hey, we need to ban guns. Why? It's not the guns that's killing motherfuckers, it's the idiots behind them. Because I'll tell you like this. You have, I mean, honestly, I would say this. There's been some cases where I'm pretty sure, hell, even with that guy, or if he would have targeted, like let's say he was out in a state that has like an open carry or a concealing carry, and he'd have targeted the wrong person. Now the thing is, some motherfuckers will be on alert off the bat, like, you know, who the fuck is this dude coming up to me? And as soon as you look like you about to make a false fucking move, a motherfucker reach quicker than you and blow your shit off. You know? See, so what if somebody was actually armed and he approached them? This story probably would have been this probably would have had a whole different twist. So that's what I mean.
Yeah, I mean, yes, that it would have had a whole different twist. But you know, basically, what I still want to go back on is, you know, what I'm saying is this: is when it comes out to looking out for our fellow black man, is there were signs that were taken before. Instead of we sit up here and we worry about gun control and stuff like this, is we should have been there to help him through his time of ordeal. And that's what I think that never gets enough play. Everybody wants to talk about gun control, or he shouldn't have been allowed to be live streaming, or we need to make all these rules, when all it boils down to is sometimes we need to lower the standards and realize that treat everybody as human, and not, oh, you're a guy, you should be able to take that shit and you just a soft ass. Just because you in life, just because all of us sitting here, ain't none of us sitting up here, and none of the people in the chat room, and none of us serial killers. I don't know, maybe one of y'all is, and maybe y'all just watching the videos just for fun. Y'all ain't been caught yet. But technically, that could have been the day before he shot that guy. He was just a normal person, just like us. And that's what the media never talks about. You know, he was just the day before a murderer killed somebody, he was just a normal guy. And that's one thing that I feel that we don't get on there, you know, and say.
Right.
He was just a normal guy before the incident. And we should have been there to help him. His friends and family should have saw the signs. I mean, they should make it more easier to get help when people feel like they are at their wits' end, so that events like this don't happen. I mean, after he shot the guy, to me, he looked like he was in shock. Like he did it, but but then it was like, well, it looked like to me he was in shock that he did it, but then he's just trying to play the whole emotion up because, of course, one problem as men, you don't want to never come off as seen soft because, of course, as us fellow men, what some men do, there's a lot of weak men out there that where the only way I can make me feel good about myself is to belittle you. Like one of the things that you notice, like one of the rules I had, I don't really like to talk about people. Now, occasionally I may take a shot at somebody who done kept talking about me. I may take a sideways swipe at them, but not to sit here and just go on because it doesn't validate me as a man by trying to belittle you. Like when you come with some bullshit off the way and I don't really respond, to me, that makes me a better man rather than, you know what? Oh, so-and-so got the best of you, let that motherfucker clown you. And I mean, unless a person is hurting you, then it really doesn't mean anything. What do you say? Late to the party? What are you talking about? Oh yeah. Yeah, I was reading the comments over here, but if you want, go ahead, put your email address in the thing, and I'll add you to the room. I've been away for a while. I don't know if people still on here doing the immature stuff, shutting down shows and everything. See, we lost you there, Lethal. Right, that is true, Kevin. Now you say usually when they investigate, they were missing signs of clues, and that's what I believe. There were signs. There were signs. I mean, think about like his family member. His mother might have tried to, unless she was just cold-hearted and didn't care about that man at all. She probably sat up there and say, "Wow, I should have talked to him a little bit more. I should have spent more time with him." You know what I mean? Lethal, are you there? Or
Yeah.
okay, now somebody said sound. Okay. Okay, I don't make sure that everyone can hear us. Type 1 if you can hear us. Just make sure that we're not having any sound today.
I mean, I'm pretty sure that there's gonna be some shit that comes out over time. Like it's gonna probably, somebody's gonna probably drop a bombshell. There's gonna be something that's going to come out down the line, whether it's by the chick or relatives or friends. It's gonna be something that comes out, where
Right.
you be like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Even though sometimes I even question the motives behind certain shit because it's like, why do we wait till somebody's dead or go off to the deep end like this before we actually say, you know what? I can't let you fuck yourself up like this.
Right.
Because if I have for example, if I have a friend that has said time and time again, because people take suicide or suicidal thoughts or threats lightly sometimes, and they, you got people that be like, well, if a person's gonna kill themselves, they just gonna do it. They're not gonna talk about it. But it's the fact that if they have that thought, we don't need to just ignore that shit because we don't know what the fuck's going on. And that person's probably at that point where they feel like, okay, I'm overly stressed. I'm at my fucking limit and I'm about to just fucking end it all. And so, like I say, a lot of things go ignored. And I think it's a thing where we have to. That was one of the main things you talked about when you first started this channel, and you was talking about the lack of empathy. I don't know if you remember that.
Right.
The lack of empathy.
Yeah.
You know, we don't have that. Like we like to sweep shit under the rug or treat shit like it's a joke or it's a hoax. But the thing is, we don't know what the fuck people be going through. Like I say, I went to a funeral about 9 years ago of a guy who killed himself. For the life of me, I wouldn't have known that he was going through anything because I hadn't seen him in a while.
Right.
But as time went on, people was telling me like, man, that dude was going through shit, and that motherfucker had got access to a gun, and that motherfucker went off and he killed himself. And just think if a person can go and it's kind of fucked up because even if you try to talk somebody out of something, say, look, don't do that, it ain't worth it. They might, today they might say, you know what, you right. And then tomorrow, then 3 days later, they slip right back into that mindset. Because as humans, we all have something that we struggling with. You know what I mean? Whether you have an anger problem, whether you are if you're stubborn, if you're, whatever the case may be. And so today you might come to your senses, but 3 days later, you go right back into that depression. And I think I know a lot of people will probably try to stay busy just to not think about a lot of shit. To avoid, like, okay, if I stay busy, I can have my mind over here than thinking about these pitfalls or this situation at hand. The thing is, it's really fucked up, because I remember back in Chicago, there was a area up there where there was a mental hospital over there, and guess what the fuck they did? If I remember correctly, they either stopped funding it or they shut it down. Now, why would you do that? Because now you have all these people discombobulated, their resources have been snatched from under them. You can have situations like Cleveland, that situation going on 10 times more. That's why I say if we address these issues when we're dealing with whatever we're dealing with, whether it's issues from our childhood, it would really prevent us from going that route, I believe. If we utilize these resources and not worry about society thinking that we're crazy, but we actually just like move forward and say, you know what, I'm gonna do this for for the betterment of me, because like if I'm in a position like him, I want to be looked at as a person that's living by example. You see what I'm saying? Like think about all those kids that he's canceled, that he's damn tongue tied, that he's guided or whatnot, right? Don't you think they kind of feel kind of fucked up about this shit? You see what I'm saying? What the hell? I don't hear him.
Which is bad in itself. But on top, but it still goes back to what I'm saying is we're not there, and we sometimes set unrealistic standards on men. We set these standards that sometimes they can't, not everybody, just because just because you made it out the ghetto don't mean that the next man can. and we all take different paths in life, and sometimes, sometimes you said it's okay. Okay, back on, yeah. But as we take different paths in life, and sometimes, we may not all get to the same state. We might have been brought up in different households, but sometimes, life doesn't, make it all like that. You have to, you have to negotiate your life a lot different than other people's. And just because it was easy for you does not mean it was not difficult for another person. And that's one of the things that I feel that we fail to realize as men. We will sit up here and talk about you and beat you down quick, but we'll never sit there and pull the other person up. Because a lot of times we may be even jealous that the person we might pull a person up, and eventually they may end up in a better position than you. I've seen that, especially with that is, I've seen that especially shit. Look at the shit with the YouTubers. The YouTubers, they can't share shit. They can't share an audience. They can't share a different opinion. None of this crap without the people getting into a fight.
I'll be back.
All right, man. But, that's what really bothers me when we talk about, situations like this. I sit here and I say, what are we doing, right in the world, and what are we doing wrong? And I say some of the things we're doing wrong is, what are we doing wrong? We're not being there for each other. We're being ignorant. We're setting unrealistic standards. And then on top of that, we're trying to hold people to unrealistic standards. After a point, what is a person to do? What do you do in that situation? All right, let's see. I'm trying to see if we got a still sound issue here. I don't know why we're getting static in the background. Let's see. It's good now, you say? Okay, that's good. I don't know why. Sometimes I think it may be this computer here. I said, girlfriend might be getting a little too old. It might be time to get a new one. But that's basically really what I really wanted to touch on today. Why, everyone's sitting up here and everyone wants to talk about, oh yeah, he wasn't a punk. He was a punk because he didn't go shoot no gangsters, or he didn't shoot the other. How you doing, Garcia? My thing was, why weren't we there to stop him from doing all this? That's what it is. Yeah, they didn't see. Well, he had ideas that, yeah, he did actually. PH, he said that he had ideas of killing people a long time ago. But one of the, think about it. He was a counselor for you, and he mentored troubled youth. So the guy couldn't have been that bad of a guy. He passed all the background checks and the mental checks for him to work in that position. People in that position, that's a highly stressful job. It's not like that's something easily to do. And think about it. He probably had his own problems, and he probably was scared to talk about it because he didn't want to be labeled. He didn't want to lose his job. He didn't want to probably lose his girlfriend, because one of the problems is you see how people are. If they see any sign of weakness, shit, the dogs come out to attack. I've seen that. Yeah, they said, yeah, PH, he did gamble. And, I've talked to people who are friends of mine who got friends that work at the casino, and they said they knew him. They've seen him a lot of times there. He had a gambling problem, but like I said, maybe he tried to gamble his way out of debt or try to make a better life for his family, because he didn't have any kids with his girlfriend from what I heard, but she did have kids. So any reasonable male would want to be a good provider, even if those kids aren't yours that he was living with. And he probably felt bad because, you know, he probably wasn't making enough money. You know, I'm living with my girlfriend, I'm not making enough money, I'm just tired of this. Or, I mean, I know exactly how that feels. I'm one of those ones where, you know, I'm not a rich guy. You know, I barely keep the lights on. I mean, it's basically like that. I know exactly what it is. If I don't go to work tomorrow, next week, there's not going to be nothing in the refrigerator. I mean, so I can totally sympathize with him on that. Yeah, definitely. As they say, Kevin said, you'll be surprised at how many divorces and family problems that counselors have. Right. That's true. You know, I mean, you go to work and you hear problems all day, and sometimes, as we say, misery likes company, but then sometimes you hear other people's problems and you say, look at these people complaining on little things. Well, shit, I got 10 times more. You know, like one of the issues, I don't know, you know, the guys who have followed me back for a couple of years, everybody know I have a huge child support debt bill. I'm close to 300,000. You know, matter of fact, slightly over. Where I know that, you know, sometimes it's really hard to wrap your head around it, to know that probably no matter what, I'm never going to pay this debt off. I mean, that's a lot of, when you sit up here and say, I'll probably be working until the day I kill over and die, and I still won't pay this debt off. I mean, the threat of being put in jail every time you look up. I mean, and that's one of the things that, especially now, us black men are really going to have to watch out, because that's going to be the new way to put people in incarceration. They're going to put you in jail for debt. And they first started doing that with child support. But I said, most of these people who owe big money on child support like that, it's not like they're living in mansions or they're driving Maseratis and stuff like that. Very few people are those. The most people, if you don't believe me, go down to your juvenile court. Go down to your child support building where you watch where the men go down there and pay. Half of them people that are down there are just ordinary moles. It ain't like they pulling up in Benzes paying their child support. They're down there, you know, some of them I see take the bus to work every day. And if they know that, hey, I can't take a day off of work, even if I am sick or if I need a mental health day to get my mind together, because why? If I don't, you know, child support's taking 65% of my income. So when I take a day off of work right here, that's going to cost me so much that I won't have food for the next week. Or the fact is, I won't have enough money to get, you know, transport myself back and forth to work. You know? What do you say? It takes one. What do you mean? I don't understand what you mean by it takes one to know one. Behavior health counselors. Yeah, you're right. I definitely PH one day off will set bill. Definitely. I am one of those people like that. I have. Yeah, you say Garcia. Yeah, point. I have you. Yeah, I'm not. As you sit up here and say Garcia, you say key point. You had 300,000 in CS payments, but you're not out killing people because you have problems. True. I'm not out killing people because I had problems, but maybe because I took a different route at it. After some time, I looked at it and I just said, you know what? I mean, it was just too big of an issue for me to wrap my head around it. So what I did was just say, I'm not going to care about it. And that fact is, it helps me get by the day to day. But, you know, I think about it a lot. It's a lot that you sit there and know that, wow, you know, I'm just, you know, I'm in this amount of debt and whatsoever. That's really hard to sometimes fathom. I mean, think about acquiring a debt that is more than you make in 25 years. You know, I'm running a little small business. I'm not making, I'm barely making ends meet. You know, and so, you know, I had to the only way to keep myself and to keep me from going in, I had to sit up here and say, you know what, I'm just not going to think about it on that aspect. You know, I'm going to try to do whatever I can here and here, but, you know, it's a bad feeling because, you know, you go to work, you work hard. I mean, you don't plan for no vacations. You don't plan on saying, oh man, I can't wait because next year I'm going to Disney World. You know, I mean, after a while, you sit up here and you say, well, damn, the only reason I'm living is to go to work every day and bust my ass and come home with nothing. I mean, that's a very, you know, hard life to live. And, you know, there are people out here that sit up here and say, oh, well, you know, you done made the bed, you're not lying it. But that's true. Yeah, I done made the bed, I lie in it. But here's the question. So basically, we should just punish them, punish these people and put their life in a state of non-existence to where, I mean, if you really want to have that fathom, well, fine. If the people like that, why don't you just offer them, why don't you just go ahead and kill them? You're going to threaten the people with jail and end what little, anyway, they have a crappy life as it is. Next thing you're going to do is threaten the people with jail. I mean, think about it. The guy had a semi-decent job. If he would have went, say, for counseling and all that, and they said that the man had a mental problem, 9 times out of 10, he probably would have lost his job. Now, you sit up here and you put a person who already feels that he's broke already, and then you take his job away from him. I mean, what does that cause? I mean, you take away a person's reason for living, you never know what you can push that person to. Anything is possible. He said, crazy right, jail sucks me. Yeah, you know, unfortunately, I said I've never done any time for, you know, anything like that, but I've been in jail for a couple of little stints on, you know, for getting behind on my child support. And I tell you, man, those are some of the worst days of my life. Sometimes just being around all those ignorant people. It just, you sit up here yourself and you say, how can people be so damn stupid? And I mean, that's a killer in itself. And to know that you can lose your freedom just because you don't have no money. I mean, that's a real bad thing to think about. I mean, if you classify it as a felon, and you get a high, outrageous child support or whatever, or your bills are just extremely sky high, and you can't pay. I mean, as a felon, that just puts you into a lower category to where, you know, you're not going to be able to, you know, provide how you feel that you should be able to. You put a lot on a person that can fuck you up. People say going to jail will ruin you financially. You're right about that. And yeah, there are some people who have went to jail and bounced back, but not everybody does. And then once you have been to jail, that just makes everything worse. I mean, people are gonna, before anything, you're discredited already. As a male too, you're sitting up here, well, wait a minute, you know, you probably did something that fucked up. There's no sympathy given. I mean, think about, say, the men in the chat room. Think about how many other times you've seen another guy and they've got something bad and you've actually felt sorry for them. A lot of times is, oh man, you just better suck that shit up and take it. Yeah, you're right. Kevin said the life after prison is much worse than inside. You're right about that. See, I was one of the ones, I'll go ahead and end my story. No one probably knows because I've been gone a while, but I was actually convicted of a felony about 19 years ago. A gentleman broke into my house. He was high on drugs. I beat him up, drug him outside in the street. We fought more, and that's it. State picked up charges on me, and I, you know, never been in trouble with the law before, nothing. First thing I had, I marked as a felon. I didn't know about pleading your case down or taking on the deal out there. Oh, they said, we'll give you no jail time. So they charged me with felonious assault. Now, I didn't know what that was. I'd never been in trouble before. What's felonious assault? From when I find out here in my state, the only thing higher than that is murder or attempted murder. So then now you sit up here, you go from where you are 18, 19 years old, almost making $40,000 a year, to that next year I made $9 grand. And I mean, to a young person, you making, you know, you 17, 18, 19 years old, bringing $40,000 a year back then, you know, that's an okay amount to be making now as an, you know, older. But if you could make $40,000 a year damn near 20 years ago, that's a lot more money then than it is now. And then you sit up here and you know, oh, well, fine, you know, I'm gonna, you know, everything gonna be cool. I'm just gonna go back to work. And then now all of a sudden, all these jobs don't want to touch you. No one wants to give you a benefit of the doubt. If you can get in here and impress someone, most of the time it's a bureaucrat far away, and they'll tell them, well, this person is unhireable, because then the companies don't want to take the risk, you know, of hiring you, because if you do something and that's, well, you know this guy, he fought someone before, but they don't look at, yeah, I fought someone coming in my house. It's not like I went out there looking for trouble. Trouble came to me. So you said, what do I think about Stephen killing himself? Well, I said that before in the beginning. I said that he was probably going to kill himself. That was his only way out. I mean, he didn't look like a type of person. He didn't. You can tell he didn't want to go to jail. I mean, to me, I'm one of those ones. If y'all ever gave me more than shit, if you ever wanted to give me more than 30 days in jail, just go ahead and kill me. I'd rather be dead than sit in jail for 30 days. And I know to sit up here, well, a person that has kids to sit up there and say that, but you want to sit here and put me in an environment like this with all these crazy people, I would rather be dead. You know? Right. But killing someone else, and you say crazy, so I say couple of jobs, no time to rest, overtired, stress, there is a breaking point. But killing someone else, I couldn't. Yeah, you're right. I don't see the way he did it was wrong. But if he didn't kill someone else, he was definitely going to kill himself. You could just tell by that type of person, you know, by his demeanor and all like that. He was definitely, you know, at his wit's end. I mean, sometimes you feel, you know, you're just in that circle and you don't see no way out. And unfortunately, that's one of the reasons why I've always been a type of person. They worry about these felons. They come out, you go to jail, you serve your time, and then they come out, and now you're going to tell these people, well, we'll let you out of jail, but we just going to make your life 10 times harder. And I mean, I've seen dumb bullshit jobs that I used to sit up here, and I'm like, I would never take that job. You know, and then to hear that now these jobs wouldn't even touch you, and you're like, well, this job was beneath me then. And now you hear the jobs won't touch you because of that? Did they confirm any more kills? No, they didn't confirm any more kills. He said that he had killed some people at a house on 108th and Cedar. Like I was telling people the other day, anybody know that's familiar with that area, there are no houses on 108th and Cedar. I mean, you can do a map, you can do it, you do a Google Street View, you'll see there are no houses there. Now, there's a townhome on one of the sides of the street there, but which he could have meant that instead. But I have a friend that lives on 108th and Frank, and they went over there and they had even checked her house for bodies. But no, I mean, you could tell by the way he said it too in the video. I said that the other day in the video. You could tell by the way he said it then that he was just talking, you know, just to hear himself speak. You said what? He wanted to talk to his mom about his suicide tendency. Yeah, they said they actually interviewed. I don't know. They actually, I don't know if you guys seen it there in the national news, but we've seen it here definitely in Cleveland. She's already been interviewed and she's been on the news. That's why I said it. And if you see her interview on the news, it seemed to me, I mean, I do admit everybody handles things differently, but it seems to me that they weren't that close. You know, their relationship was somewhat damaged. That's what I take for that. I can't really say, you know, but you could just tell that their relationship was damaged. Let's say the problem is there's an old man who lost his life because, yes, you're right. That's a really big problem. And I think that that's one of the things that I really wanted to focus on with this show tonight and talk about, let people come on that want to talk about. But I said that that's the problem is we should have been there to help our fellow man so that way people don't get to this point. Did he have a father? Well, they didn't say nothing about that. They had only interviewed his mother. So it's hard to well, the videos that I saw here in Cleveland, they'd only talked to his mother. So it's hard to determine if he was a product of a single family and all that. He wanted mass panic and we gave it to him. Yeah, I think he did. I think that also too, it's like when after he did it, it seemed like maybe by his demeanor, why he was just talking after the fact, it seemed like he did it, and it looked like he wanted to cry when he was sitting there talking on the phone to his friend, but he was just trying to like save face for the camera. To me, that's what the impression I got from him. I think that he was just trying to act. I think he was just trying to act cool and save face for the camera, because that's one problem with us men. It's almost against the law to show a sign of weakness, to show a sign of caring for others. It's like, why do we do that as men? As men, we should already know that, other men, you don't get any breaks in life and everything. Oh, well, if you're a true man, you should provide for your family and take care of your kid. But you don't hear none of these things on, well, if you're a true girlfriend or true wife or true whatever, you don't hear any of these things. But as a true man, you should just be able to take all the shit that life puts on you and do nothing and have no response to it, have no feelings, have no worries, nothing. Well, some people said that PH says, how can we learn the signs of depression if Steve didn't really show it to his coworkers? Yeah, there were some friends and family members said that he was going through a lot of stress at that time. He was going through a lot of stress at that time. So they said he had a lot going on in his mind like that. But I mean, maybe, like I said, maybe he was too scared to go get help because he probably would have lost his job. I mean, the man was in debt up to his eyes, he said. I mean, think about it. The worst thing you can do is lose your job. You're in debt up to your eyes. You lose your job. I mean, we all sit up here and say, well, yeah, he shouldn't have killed somebody or else. But it could be one of us sitting in the chat room, and 2 months from now, our lives take a big turn. Shit, it could even be me. Our lives take a big turn, and we done put a bullet in our head. That's what's so bad. I mean, that could have been any of us. And that's what I try to, emphasize it. We all could have been a victim, could have been Steve. Yeah, he did. He did have a gambling problem, crazy, right? That's what they said. They said he had a gambling problem and all that. I want to thank you guys for coming to the show. Please like, share, subscribe. Check the links out down there. But yeah, they said he did have a gambling problem. That's been definitely recorded. Say, Pierre, you said you wanted to hang yourself but didn't. Can I ask a question? Would you like to come on the show and share that or no? And what stopped you from doing it? Now Garcia said, killing yourself versus killing innocent people is a major difference. Yeah, that is a major difference. But I mean, sometimes, as you say, is, some good will come from this in a bad way, because hopefully people will, I'm saying a good way, because hopefully people will learn to spot a person, getting close to their breaking point and be able to pull them back from the brinks of this so that things like this don't happen. Thank you, Casey, for subbing. I appreciate it. Thank you guys, all the new subscribers out there. I'll try to do more shows here and there. You said, Pete says, my heart sunk low, didn't do it right away. Family would have suffered as well. Yeah, I can say that too, PH. I actually tried, it was probably back in about 2006. I had tried one time myself. I tried to do it on an overdose wise. You know, I thought that, oh yeah, if I don't wake up, I'll sit up here. If I don't wake up, I'll just, you know, tomorrow they'll just find me in bed sleep. But of course, I said it's one of those things. I probably didn't do it early enough. I woke up that morning and went to work. Now I do admit, my boss said that I wasn't running. I was an auditor at that time. I wasn't running the stores. He said, but she said all of my shit was fucked up. She just, you know, she said if for me to be one of the most accurate people, she said that nothing was correct. She said, what the hell was wrong with you yesterday? Now, of course, I never told her what had happened because, you know, you don't tell nobody at work, especially if you know, like they say, I was one of those people. I'm living paycheck to paycheck, just like, you know, this. As you see, guys, you see, everyone sees my house. I'm a normal guy, hardworking, everyday normal man. I'm never said that I'm better than anyone. You know, that's one of the reasons why I hope that you guys come here to see today. I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anyone. Just give a nice, fair, level-headed opinion. Yeah, I didn't tell no one when I did it, PH, but I told people after the fact. You know, I told people like that a coworker of mine. I told her about a year later. You know, like that, and she was like, "I remember that day," because she, you know. But yeah, sometimes too is just the fact of coming out saying that can cause problems for you. Right, and that's what Plum J said. Turning murderous rage on others can easily turn to self. It's not much of a major difference. You're right about that. That is true. If a person can sit up here and kill themselves and they feel that depressed, they can definitely go ahead and snap and do it to others. Because sometimes one of the problems when these people snap, they don't. It's not like they ignore all consequences, and sometimes they just want to get some of that rage and some of that anger out of them at that moment. And at that moment, that's all they can do. He said, Kevin said, chemical imbalance equals depression. Could be. You know, could be chemical imbalance. Yeah, I mean, also it just could be the stress. You know, stress is just normal everyday life. I mean, look at how many these people that are stockbrokers and make these multi-billion-dollar deals. Think about when the stock market crashed. Look at all of them that killed themselves. I mean, because their way of life was gone. I mean, those people were probably used to living a lifestyle that they couldn't keep up with. And that's one of the reasons why I fight so hard against people who have say they were a felon and now they've served their time and all this. Well, wait a minute. You back a person into a corner or you eliminate options. What else do you expect the person to do? Because when you eliminate options and make their life difficult for all these said reasons, I mean, some people are going to respond with violence. And that's one of the things that, I don't understand about, why do we do that? Low testosterone had me messed up. Men check it all. Okay. I've never had. I do admit I happen to have my testosterone checked, and that's one thing too about us men. A lot of times we don't go to get checked out. A lot of us do have health insurance, and we don't get a yearly checkup, let alone anything else. I know of a lady who had full benefits, worked at her job for the last 17 years. She died of cancer 2 years ago. She died of cancer. And what's so bad, she had a lump the size of a golf ball on her chest. Never went to see about it. But it already metastasized to her spine, and she died of cancer and had health benefits. A lot of us do not go get checked out. And that's too one of the things. Yeah, you said you've never had your testosterone checked. It's expensive without insurance. Oh, definitely. And that's another thing that goes back to what I say. So many of us are living paycheck to paycheck, and don't have $10 in our pocket that we can't afford. It's either eat today or go get checked out. Most people will say, well, fuck it. If I die of cancer, that's going to be later on. It'll just be over with. So I'm just going to eat today. Hey, man, I was kind of down the other night alone and shit and accidentally found this channel. Well, Crazy Rock, I appreciate you coming by. You know, we appreciate having you here. And I definitely know exactly how it is, because I used to be in a group with a lot of other people. I don't know, a lot of people that know. I actually came from a much bigger group before I spun off on my own. Me and the guy who owned the channel, we had a disagreement. I thought everything was cool, so I just went my separate ways. Some talk was said back afterwards. I'm pretty sure you watch some of the older videos, you can see that. We're not going to emphasize that now. And, you know, basically it was, if you were my friend or to be seen around me was always, you know, people say, oh, well, if you're cool with Dre, then don't be cool with us. And that's basically what happened to a lot of the people that, you know, that used to be around. You say, eat today, go, yeah, you're right. Yeah, you say, that's true though. Okay, so we go through a lot of that where they say, well, fine, I'm going to sit here and I'm going to make sure that I have enough money to eat today or to get my pack of cigarettes or whatever I need to help me get through the day, knowing that, you know, I got this tumor sitting there building in my lungs or whatever. You said, hell yeah, if you need it, especially on testosterone. What, I don't understand that question, Kevin. You said, PH, in battles for hormone. Yeah, you're right. Definitely. Winter months, I'll be back. Thank you. That's right. And definitely a lot of people don't realize too. Winter months is bad because a lot of times we're shut in. So we're away from each other. You know, we don't interact with each other as much. And on top of that too, you don't see the sun. It's something about, you know, it's something about, hey, if you you know, if you see the sun, that just helps bring a different demeanor. Because I know I used to go out to Phoenix a couple of years ago, and I used to love it out there in the wintertime. But something about it, just something about, you see the sun so much out there, and it seemed like people just had a better demeanor than people here in Cleveland. Kevin says, he said, what? Oh, you say your testosterone, your payments for your testosterone is $200 a month? Wow. Crazy Rock said, shit, if I get 10 pockets of my $10 in my pocket, I think I'm rich. I said, I know how you feel, man. And speaking of that, why don't you go ahead and click that donate button down there, so donate to the show, because I know exactly how you feel on that. Because sometimes that's the thing, though, too, if you say Crazy. When we sit up here and talk all this mess, but I mean, you realize that sometimes it's just you know, we are all living that close to the brink. That's all, you know, all we can think about is, I'm going to put food on the table tomorrow. Robert, you said, where the fuck have you been? Well, I mean, I took a little time off after that. Work picked up for a minute, you know, the type of work I do. So I was, you know, capitalizing on that. But, you know, I was leaving the YouTube world alone. I see that I've come back and I see that they got these big things with the monetization of videos and all that. I sit there and laugh. But the video I did the other day had the most views I'd ever had on a video. And they say that video is not monetized. Now, I've never made any money off YouTube unless somebody donated. That's the only way I've ever got paid. But I would feel sorry for the people do this as their, you know, only ways of living. You know, like back during when I heard about the people doing a flag and stuff, I was never on the fact that if a person created content and people wanted to watch it, we should go ahead and make their money if the people sit there and watch it. I don't see the purpose of flagging somebody's channel and stuff like that. Why? I mean, because technically 90% of us are living paycheck to paycheck. So why should we try to stop money from coming into another person's pocket, especially when it really ain't affecting you and it ain't no skin off there? The worst thing you can say is, what? Somebody talked about me and they hurt my feelings. But unfortunately, a lot of times in life, your feelings are going to get hurt. It just helps to have people to talk to and get you through those times. Oh, yeah, Casey said, not many people on YouTube are this genuine. I'm glad you're real and not fabricating some facade. Yeah, you're right. that's one thing that I've always been. I've never been the type of person that says that, hey, I'm rich. I've always probably told you I'm probably one of the brokest YouTubers running the show. But I mean, to me, that doesn't, just because I don't have money does not mean that, in my book, doesn't mean that my opinion is that less, you know what I mean, less valuable as anyone else's. Okay, all right, Kia, great stuff. Thanks for having me here. Thank you, everyone else as well. Yeah, you're right. We thank you for coming. They say, oh, Plum J says seasonal depression disorder. That's what they call it. Yeah, you're right. People a lot of time in the wintertime feel that way, especially if you're, in states where you are closed in. You're closed in the wintertime here in Cleveland. A lot of us are stuck in the house. I'm trying to figure out, if you want to call in, just Crazy Rock, we're not going to laugh. Just put your email address in and I'll add you. Just type an email address in and I'll add you to Google Hangouts. And you can come on if you wanted to come on and say something. But you sit there and say you're worried about your Southern accent. Oh, shit, people say I have a Southern accent because even though I was born and raised right here in Cleveland, Ohio, but my family's from the South. My family's from West Virginia. My late grandmother here, you can see up in that picture there. She brought our family here when she was younger. Well, my mother was younger, and she came here first and went back to West Virginia, and then they ended up coming back to Cleveland. Okay, let's see. Vitamin D levels affect depression. Get sunlight. Yeah, that's true. But I mean, sometimes we do get used to being in the house. I mean, sometimes you stay in the house too much, that can get to you. Red Face says, "Love drove Drake crazy. That's where he's been." Oh no, I think I fell in love a long time ago. I haven't had a woman drive me that crazy in a long time. I mean, but I can totally understand about a person to where, if you love a person so much and they don't love you back, sometimes that can be a real heartbreaker. I mean, it takes a strong person, and most people want to sit up here and say that, but it takes a real strong person to be able to come back from that, especially after knowing that, hey, this person was my world, and I care more about them, and then this person doesn't. This person doesn't, care about you the same way that you care about them. All right. I'll put up the link there for you guys. But okay, Crazy Rock, I'll go ahead and see if I can add you. You know how to use Google Hangouts, right, Crazy Rock? Are you on a phone or are you on a computer? Let's see. You have been invited. Guys, you said honestly you don't like live chats, but you are interesting. My husband put me on here, and I'm glad he did. Oh, okay. Well, that's good. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with live chat. To me, I would rather chat live with people because that way you can get feedback. Then okay, go to Google Hangouts, and you have to be signed into your account, and you should be there. I just sent you an invite. You'll be able to click there and join. Yeah, I do it, man. I do. Yes, I can probably hear. We'll go ahead and see. We'll go ahead and try this. Normally, I do not do this because lately, Crazy Rock, are you close to your computer? Computer now. Let's see. Go ahead and click that link right there, and it'll bring you in. Hurry up, because I'm not going to leave it out there long. So click that link there, and you'll be added. And it should open for you. All right, it says that you've been added, so you are been added. You have been added. There you go. So it shows that you are in the room. You have to turn your, you know, you set up your system on however, but you are there. I say, so what's Garcia, what is interesting about me? You say I'm interesting. What do you think is interesting? I say, hello? So what's Garcia, what you have to turn your you have to close the YouTube box or hit mute on that, otherwise we'll hear feedback from the show. Ronald,
Yo, what up?
how are you?
I'm all right. How you doing, man?
I'm all right.
Yo, I love your show. I haven't seen you in a long time, man.
Yeah, I've been around. I said I've been around, just, you know, working, as you say, working.
Yeah, no, I hear that. I hear that. I hear that.
Yeah.
How's shit with you? How's it, you oh fuck, I'm fucked up, man. Don't even worry about me. Is anybody else joining in this? Let's make this a call, man.
Well, crazy like working.
Yo, what up?
Yeah, no,
I hear that.
Yeah.
How's shit with you? How's it, you oh fuck, I'm fucked up, man. Don't even worry about me.
Crazy. You have to turn the YouTube chat off, otherwise we'll hear ourselves talking again. You have to turn the YouTube, not the chat, but you have to turn the volume on the YouTube bar down. Okay.
Yo, can you hear me?
Say something.
Hello?
Yes, we can hear you.
You can hear me now?
Yes, I can.
Far out, man. How you doing, brother?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. Doing good. Yeah, I was checking out your channel there the other night, man. Whenever all that other shit was going down, and I just accidentally found it, and I was interested, you know, what you was having to say there, and I agreed with you, you know, and I thought, hell yeah, you know, I'm gonna check this dude out, man. I really dig your channel, man. It's pretty cool.
Well, I appreciate it. Appreciate it. I mean, because I mean the channel is here, so people like us, you know, just sit and talk. You know, we can, sometimes it's this. We can be the helping hand for each other.
Yeah, right on, man. I mean, everybody needs somebody to talk to sometimes. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I get like that, depressed and shit sometimes, you know. And, I got some buddies I can call up or something, but I don't really do that all the time. You know.
Oh, sorry to butt in there. I just wanted to say, yo, you seem like one of the most chill guys in the so-called black sector.
Well, I try to be. I mean, there's certain topics that I do get, you know, stuff on.
Well, there's just too much aggression.
It's certain rules that I follow in this. I don't, like I said, is one of the things is I had rules before. I had I used to have a big group of following that used to, you know, be with me. But the rules is this: we don't talk about other YouTubers. We don't talk about kids and people's families. We don't talk about each other. The only thing is we may, like, you may bring an opinion over here and we'll attack your opinion, which is, that's what we want to do. We want to attack the opinion, not the person. And a lot of people debate and actually attack an opinion instead of taking it personal.
Yeah, that's
and
cool.
You know, it takes a very strong type of person to do that. And I've noticed a lot of people, some people, they're used to the fussing and fighting, and if you're not dissing someone, then, oh, this is boring. Where we come, where, you know, what I tried to do over here is more, you know, intellectual conversations rather than attacking each other. I figured you can go watch Empire on TV, Real Housewives of Atlanta. They got probably 20 other damn YouTubers out there doing that, where all they do is sit there and talk shit about each other all day. Not gonna be that way over here. I figured to give people something different.
Yeah, you got to be cool about it, you know.
All right.
Yeah, man. Some people be some real jerks out there. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, definitely. I've seen people hold grudges for months, man. I watch where people have gone and they talk about a person for years.
I apologize, but just to chime in, I just wanted to say I've seen people talk crap about you. I'm not going to mention names because you said don't mention names. I'm not going to.
You can mention their name. I've seen a lot of people talk crap about me.
No, here, please. I just want to say this. I find that those same people who say shit, they're the worst, man.
Well, I mean, everybody. I'm like this. Everybody's entitled to their opinion.
Yeah, but you didn't do anything to them. Yo, you did. It's not like you did something to them. You know what I mean? Like I said, you know what I mean? Like what the? I don't know. Whatever. Sorry about that.
No. That's fine. I've looked at a lot of it where you see is the only difference that we had is a difference of opinion, and that's to go to show you that a lot of us are shallow. You know, and even as adults, we're probably guilty of that ourselves. The only difference we've had is a difference of opinion, and just because of that, we have to bring it personal. And a lot of people can't, they can't get by
that. Like to go to that avenue all the time. They just, just go right for the jugular.
Right. Definitely.
I mean, we're gonna be a dick at some point. Like I get that, but
right.
Like sometimes, like just chill the fuck out.
All right, your mic's going in and out. Can you move closer to it?
I think it's one of those Walmart mics, so just give me a second.
Okay.
It's an Acer.
Yeah. It's an Acer. Oh, listen to you. Yeah, that was running jokes back then. They say, oh yeah, people have Acer computer.
Acer, I know all that shit.
All right. Now Garcia you say that's why you're interesting to me because I'm brutally honest, huh? Well, I mean, I try to be honest, and I try to be honest and level-headed and fair. I mean, it's even been people that we had a group where we were even offline, where we just always stayed in a group where that way, like, on our phones, we pop in 10 minutes here, 20 minutes there, all throughout the day. There were people in the group I wasn't too fond of. I mean, I may have not been too fond of this person here or that person there, but I was never a type of person where, because I'm not too fond of him, does not mean I should kick him out the group. To me, I have no right, especially if they haven't done anything that say violates our rules. Just because I don't like you. I've even had people that come on my show and they say, I may have not been too fond of you, but if you're coming about an opinion, that's okay.
Well, there's nothing wrong with an opinion.
Oh yeah, definitely nothing wrong with opinions. If you want to join, man, you can join too. I think our the Hangout link is in our other in our room, and if not, matter of fact, I'll put it there. But yeah, I mean, I've just noticed that we've all been, some of us we can't. It's like afterwards, it's like, we got to have this. I got to destroy everything. You know what I mean? It's like I can't be cool with you at all. It's like no matter what, everything's gone. Fuck you, fuck your kids, fuck your mama, fuck your grandma. I mean, literally. And you're like, man, dude, all I had was a difference of opinion with you. I never said you was a bad person, man.
Everybody's,
oh, well, hello, how are you? But yeah, I mean, that's one of the things that I've never been that type of person. I'm probably, I've been told by people, because even I was dating a female actually, and me and her got into a spat a couple weeks ago. And see, that's your problem. You just got this nonchalant look. And I said, no, it's that I'm not saying that I'm better than you or nothing. I'm just saying that I understand. I see that upset you. I said, I'm sorry.
No,
it
you
won't
don't
happen again. Why do we gotta keep harping on it? I mean, it's not like I'm gonna do it again. I already said that. You realize that you took this text message that I sent you in a bad way. I didn't have an attitude at the time, but you've been sitting here yelling at me, cussing and screaming for the last 30 minutes. And I said, you see, I haven't responded in anger to you. So think about it. If I was angry when I sent the text message, don't you think I would have got angry with you now? And it's no, you're just trying to belittle the situation. No, it's not a situation for us to be just blown up at each other. But I notice that happens. You know what I mean? I notice that happens a lot with us. Words were exchanged, right? Well, now, when were words exchanged, Leslie? Because I never exchanged any words with you. But you say Trump or now? What do you mean, King? You said King Trump or now? What do you mean? You don't like Trump? I will admit, I was one of the people that voted for Trump. But I look back and say now, it's, oh God, this guy's a damn fool. I thought he was just going to bring a different type of government around. I didn't expect him to act like a pure D fool. I thought that was just a sales pitch. So I don't like some of the things he's doing. Oh well, I mean, no offense, Leslie, but I saw the fight with all of that, and I saw you guys. You know, I saw us all going our separate ways. I saw that months before. You know, I've dealt with a lot of people. Remember, like I said, in my type of work, I deal with people with money, and especially with these houses and all like that. I've dealt with a lot of people before, and I saw that it was like me. It's like everybody was getting. It was we got to call somebody out, or we got to put somebody on the spot. And I felt that we were getting away from our core values on, hey, man, we supposed to be like, if somebody's going through it at the time, it's supposed to be 4 or 5 of us saying, hey, dog, we got your back. Don't worry about it. You can vent to us. You know, just like I said, this guy who went off and shot this man, if he would have had, say, a group of people like us, maybe that event would not have happened. And that's why I blame us on the fact of our fellow man, we weren't there for him. It doesn't, you know, negate what he did, but the fact is his friends and people should have been there for him to pull him back from there. Instead of sitting here worried about it going out, are we going to blame Facebook because of live videos? Are we going to independent news because they're blowing this up? No. We as regular human, everyday people, we should have been there for the guy, saw that he was going through a lot, we can to help him. And that's where I felt we failed.
Oh, definitely. I agree with you, man. That's right.
You said, Garcia said, yeah, you might be right, but we'll never know. Yeah, you're right about that. We'll never know. I mean, I said when I saw the whole thing, you know.
Yo, real talk, the dude just looked like he had a bad day and it went out of hand.
That's what I said too. It just looked like he was going, and I as a person who suffered, just give an example, I'm gonna go ahead and say this now. I've been depressed the last, say, week and a half or so. I'm actually going to see somebody Thursday to sit and say maybe I have a chemical imbalance too, because like someone said in the chat room, I'd already made an appointment for this Thursday or this week, right before this happened, because I felt like, you know, you just feel tired. I mean, depression can hit you in so many ways where it's just like, you know, you just feel tired. You don't have energy. You can't sleep. I mean, when you realize that sometimes this stuff right there can really make a person do things that are normally out of character. You say, well, that person would never do that. You know, what is going on in their lives? So what's going on with them? Are they sick? Are they, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
but dude
we all
looked like
human, man.
the whole shooting thing, okay? He looked like he was living an okay life. It's not like he looked like he was poor or
right,
like a middle class dude.
Yeah, he was that. Now Garcia says, I think people should be held accountable for your actions, and I totally
there's no doubt about that. I agree with you.
He should. I'm not saying that we should let him off free. Unfortunately, after you've gone to that point, you got to do the crime, you got to do the time. So you got to, you know, the man would have to be put in jail for the rest of his life if he was still alive. But the fact is, I'm saying is, a lot of these people probably could have been saved before they got to that point. And that's the type, I try to see the good in people, and we should have probably, you know, people around him should have maybe listened to him a little bit more, been that shoulder to, you know, and not judge them. You know what I mean? Just because you say, well, the guy looked like he was living a middle-class life, I'm pretty sure shit, look at me. You would say, hey, look at me. I'm in a perfect situation, but I still feel depressed. Sometimes it's not a how you're living situation. It could be that you just got so much up here. Because I've learned in life one thing that I've always said: this is with you more than anything out there. That's why, like, people sit there and laugh because I've been a blunt of many jokes, and a lot of times I don't even clap back. But because to me, outside influences and people talking about me, it doesn't bother me that much. Very rare. I may have to clap back on them sometime here and there because I just get tired of people thinking, well, damn, Dre, you don't never say shit, or you just always take. But it's just the fact that doesn't bother me. What bothers me on that more where I say it brings on my depression is I think about mistakes that I have made in life. Like, I may have not chose the best parents for my kids. And I think about the choices that I have made that have impacted my children's lives. And, you know, stuff like that bothers me more than anything. Like, damn it, you know what I mean? I should have been thinking better than that. I should have put a little bit more thought into that. You know what I mean? Stuff like that bothers me more than anything. More than, like, words of people that I don't know or people that supposedly are my friends. More than that does. It just bothers me. I've always been a type of person where I've told my kids a lot. You know, sometimes think about a lot of things before you do it, and just sit and think and just come to a decision before you make an action, just so that after, when everything is all done and said and done, that you know, well, hey, I thought about that decision and that's what I did. And if I had bad consequences, at least I thought about the decision and I knew where I was going before, you know what I mean? Rather than to react right away and sometimes fuck up your whole life before you get a chance.
Yep.
He said, great. I didn't know the guy, but I bought him a beer and sat down and even tried to talk. Now, who is this guy that they're talking about, King? Crazy.
You know, the Steve guy the other day.
Oh, yeah. No.
I didn't know the guy, man, but if he was having such a shitty day, man, I know how them bad days go. And it's like you said, you know, society may have failed the guy. You know, somebody should have been there to help the guy out, you know.
Definitely.
I mean, but
definitely.
Like I said, you know, I didn't know the guy, but you know, if I ran into him and he was having such a shitty day, I'd said, hey man, let's go over here and have a cold beer and you know, what's on your mind, you know?
Definitely.
You know, trying to help the guy out some. Maybe it wouldn't have happened, you know. Somebody should have been there to try to help the guy out. But then again, maybe he just didn't want no help. Maybe, you know, he was just tired of life.
You don't know how long he was.
Okay, now Leslie says, why do people use depression as a crutch now more than ever? 40 plus years ago, you never heard about depression. Seems like people just sucked it up and kept going. Yeah, but that's the totally thing is, and that further back will reinstate to what I said. As men, we were told to, if a woman hit you, you should just take that shit and shouldn't slap her back. I mean, these stereotypes, you were brought up raised that that's the normal, to keep shit in. Keep it in, keep it in, keep it in. Eventually, you tell people to keep so much stuff in, there's going to be a lot of people that explodes out. I mean, it happens. And it's not an excuse, and got nothing to justify what he did, but sometimes we all need that avenue or that relaxation to get some of that off your chest.
Yeah, man, right on. You know, it's like I use music a lot, and you know, I play guitar and stuff, and a lot of times, you know, instead of busting shit up whenever, you know, I'm having a shitty day, I'll just sit down and play some Jimi Hendrix or something like that, you know, and get stuff off my mind, have a couple of beers, you know, and you know, that relaxes me, you know, and you know, you got to have some kind of release there, you know,
right?
Something that makes you feel kind of happy.
Yes, definitely. I mean, I'm not even gonna lie. Even back, you know, I had tried by incident way back then, but I thought of a couple times before where I thought I was going to do it, and at that time, it was a friend of mine to come by, and we end up going out, and we have a drink. Sometimes you just need to get away, even if it's only for a couple hours or whatever. Like that's one of the things I've always said. Like when we sit here and we condemn all these alcoholics or these drug users, nobody grew up and said, I wanted to be an alcoholic when I grew up. Nobody grew up and said, I wanted to be a drug user. I wanted to be hooked on heroin. Most of those people, they had a lot of problems going in life, and that was just an escape. And then the escape turned into the only way that they felt normal.
You want to know the sound?
Hey, I gotta agree with you.
He did this over a bitch.
Yeah, he did. He did it over a woman. But I think that what happened, it was I think the woman was his breaking point.
He did over a bitch.
He was already worried about his debt and all his friends. Like, see, that's one good thing I can say about with me living in the city where it happened, and it happened not too far from where I live. I mean, literally, I can get in a car and get there in 10 minutes. I mean, to the places he said that he supposedly had killed the other people. I'm very familiar with that area. Like every area that they mentioned, I'm like, oh, I know exactly. I can tell you how many houses on that street, this, that, the other, because the type of work I do, I move around. So I've been in a lot of houses, and I've had to go over to this house, and we looked at real estate here. You're like, oh yeah, I know that area good. Well, you know. But I mean, he got to the fact and it just went to the fact that he just got it up to here and he just popped. I mean, as some people say, well, he just wanted the attention. Well, think about it. He was a mentor to young kids. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna probably wait a couple more days. They're gonna find, and they'll probably be scared to come out and say it, and it probably won't get aired big time national news. But there are gonna be kids that come out and say, well, so-and-so turned my life around. He really told me I was selling drugs, and he told me not to do this, that, and the other. So I'm pretty sure that he was just not always a bad guy. He was just a guy in a bad predicament.
Yeah.
Because they said he had mentored a lot of kids. And think about it. He'd been doing that job for almost over 10 years. So you know he had to influence some people in a good way. Because his life he was a mentor to young, troubled youth.
Yeah, they don't put negative people in those type of jobs.
Right. Think about it. He had to. I mean, we sitting up here talking now, but he had to perform some good somewhere. And that doesn't justify what he did. That, you know, and that's why I keep emphasizing, I keep saying that the fact is, if we as other human beings, we should have saw the signs and been there to help. Instead of everybody coming out now to dog this, that, and the other, we could have been saving that old man's life in another way. Or saving his.
People try to help me out like that a lot. You know, like you was talking about earlier about, you know, being an alcoholic and a drug addict, you know, and, you know, maybe, you know, that person didn't be that. Well, my wife passed away about 3.5 years ago. And I started drinking a lot. You know, I'm drinking a cold beer right now, but I don't get drunk every day or nothing like that, but it does keep my nerves calm, you know. But
oh, man, I'm not even gonna lie. It does help.
People try to help me like that, you know. People come to me all the time, but I do something every day. I try to do something to try to make somebody smile today. If I can play you a song or tell you a joke or you know, do anything in the world to try to make somebody happy today, that's what makes my day. Right, you know, that's what makes me happy. You know, when I'm, you know, because I've just never got over that. You know, the part where, you know, my wife died and everything, and it just killed me, man. I mean, it did. I guess I just deal with it different. You know, everybody deals with stuff like that in their own way, but the way I try to deal with it, you know, when I'm alone like this, yeah, I drink some beers or whatever, but I don't hurt nobody, and I don't tear shit up or nothing like that. I just try to do something positive to make somebody happy, because that's what makes me happy. If I can do something for somebody else today, you know, that keeps me from tearing me down, you know, letting shit bother me to the point where I just want to blow up. I just try to think, what can I do to make somebody smile today, you know?
I was touching on Dre's point earlier, where he was mentioning how, you know, how come people don't go out and try to help these people? You know, they don't It's not manly to do that.
Right, definitely.
I think that's bullshit. I mean, okay, you know what? Back in the day, I mean, I don't know about now. I don't beat my kids. You know what I mean? But my parents beat me.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And I mean, they did it for my own good. They weren't drunk alcoholics. They beat me to punish me whenever I did something wrong. I wasn't always a good kid, but you know,
right.
Sometimes when my kid misbehaves, I can't just go out and slap him upside the head. Right. I think that's what we need to go back to, because it's all this depression shit now. Like whoever said earlier, you didn't have that shit 40 years ago. You know what? That's right. It's bullshit.
I'm not gonna say that we didn't have depression earlier. I think that right now, to a lot of things, like I said, it is when you change. A lot of people don't factor in this and don't look at it in this way. When you change this over here, right? Say you go ahead, okay, fine, in law, we're gonna change this rule right here. But just because we change that rule and we don't do this, and this no more, 10 years from now, the people who are raised with that rule in place, that makes other symptoms and other things spawn up. Where you say, well, we never had that 10 years ago. But also y'all had different rules. So the rules sometimes, when you make a change here, sometimes the effects are not seen for 20 years later. I mean, that's a perfect example. Like we do something like common with sports. When people say, oh, well, so-and-so would have never survived in the league back then. But then you say, well, wait a minute. Well, them people in the league back then would never survive now because of this, that, and the other.
You mean kind of like how the Cavs wouldn't have won a championship without LeBron?
Right. Huh? What was that? I couldn't hear you.
Kind of like how the Cavs wouldn't have won a championship without LeBron? You mean like that, right?
Yeah. Even though I've been a Cavs fan before LeBron, I was a Cavs fan back when I was.
I'm just saying that it's kind of true.
Yeah, but definitely. Cavs, we definitely wouldn't have won without LeBron.
Yeah.
Now, to go show you, I'm such a Cavs fan, and I'm such a. Huh?
The Raptors are going to beat their ass this year.
I don't know about that, but I'll say this. I was one of the first ones. If someone said the sound's not working, is the sound working now? Someone hit one if you can hear us. Make sure the sound.
It's crackling.
Is it on me or crackling on everyone?
No, I think it's just you.
Just me. Doesn't like me.
Say something.
Yeah.
Test.
No, he's clear.
Check 1, 2.
What up?
So the sound is only crackling on me, the host of the show. Wow, that's
You
bad.
got an over there?
Do I got what?
You got an Acer over there?
No, I got an old ass HP. That's why I need to tell you guys. I see. I go ahead and say y'all need to go ahead and donate to the show so we can go ahead and buy a new laptop for the show. No, I'm just playing. But back to what here. Let me go ahead. I'll make some. Let me see. I'll go and look in here and see.
I gotta get me one of the webcams, man.
Oh, you can use your cell phone. Cell phone works too.
I ain't got one of them.
You don't got a cell phone, but a regular smartphone works.
No, I ain't got one of them, man.
You know?
No, I just got a computer.
Go to the store, get you one of them $30, $40 cell phones. That's a smartphone with a camera. You be in there. As long as it runs Android.
I got one of them laptops with a camera, but it's too damn
works.
slow.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't got enough RAM in it, so I don't even use it. I'm just going to buy me one this week when I get this sheetrock home. I'm just going to buy me a camera and try that out.
Mm-hmm. Well, you do drywall?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, and that's actually what I do. I do home repair.
I've been doing drywall for 28 years, man.
Okay, good. You definitely had to keep you around. I might need, I'm not the best when it comes to mudding. I'm one of those ones where my mudding could be a little bit better. It takes me too long on the mudding side, where I know that I've seen professional mudders, they come through there and they sit there and knock that out in a third of the time it takes me.
Oh, yeah, me too, man. I'm not the fastest mudslinger, but I'm pretty good at hanging it. You know, that's basically what I do is just hang it all the time.
Yeah,
You
my
know,
youngest son, my 14
Hell, it-
he's a drywall. He can hang with the best of them. He's not very good on his measurements and cutting the pieces the right size. But like, me and him built a room in a guy's house. I was cutting. I'll go over there. I help. Like, I'll lift it up. Maybe he get 1, 2 screws. All right, Dad, go cut another one. He's sitting there just screwing them all. I mean, you go back and then, because normally I'm one of those ones where even after I go, I got to go back and make sure that I got the screws small enough.
Yeah.
My son, he sit up there. He put all the screws in here. We did a room, had to be like 16 by 12. I found 1 screw that needed to be adjusted in the whole room. I had never did. That was his first time. I said I had never did drywall that well in my life. And he had, you know, normally I keep a screwdriver. Even when I'm mutting, I keep a screwdriver because that's how I say, fuck, that screw ain't depressed enough. Go in there and put it down a little bit in my pocket while I'm mudding. But I mean, he damn near flawless results. And I said, well, shit, that's his forte right there. He can mud. I mean, he can hang drywall with the best of them. I said, I know one thing. If he don't go to college or anything, I know brother man can hang some drywall.
I'm 43-year-old, man. And this shit's just got me down. I wished I could have made money playing music, but I didn't. You know, I still play music, but this sheetrock's about to kill me.
Now Garcia said terrorists want to just they say terrorists want to cause terror. He accomplished that. Some people just think it's okay. And that's all it is. Yeah, you're right. He definitely accomplished some terror. Saying that he killed all these people, he definitely had plenty of people scared. I mean, that's why I said that he's going to either have to kill himself or it's going to be suicide by cop. I mean, anybody with him, if you see this man, you know that, hey, we're going to have to go ahead and take this dude out. I mean, it's just what it is. You couldn't take a chance. Especially when, and this is the thing. What probably helped him too, to why them cops didn't shoot and blow his ass away right away when they first saw him, is it probably came out that he had lied about the other people he killed. Like, say if they would have found him, like right away after all that stuff, before they could confirm that there were no other bodies in those other locations. Yeah.
Yeah, I was wondering about
that. Are we still getting static on my mic? Do you still hear static?
A little.
I'm gonna go ahead and let me see something. See, I'll make an adjustment real quick. You two keep talking.
Yeah, I was wondering if he really did kill them other people, like he said. I mean, that was pretty off the chain right there.
You know what I mean? What does he gain from lying about it?
That better?
I don't know, man.
Want to be the next BTK killer or whatever the fuck they call the guy?
Oh yeah.
I don't know, man. In the car there, and he was like right there in the parking lot. From the
I mean, if that's the case, why videotape the one he did?
Right.
Yeah.
Attention. Yeah. And King Bob said attention. That's exactly. He wanted attention, and he might have thought that he was gonna go off and kill so many other people. And then he probably said that crap in that second video where he's talking about I killed the 14 people trying to act tough. But it takes for a person to kill somebody, he probably was in shock too after that when he realized, wait a minute, that wasn't as easy as I thought. I mean, you got to be a real cold-blooded person. If you say you might have did that first one off a whim like that, but the end to continue, you definitely got to have something off your rocker. I mean, where the average one of us couldn't just get up right now and just go blowing people away. I mean, think about those snipers that come back from the war. I mean, that they're taught that, you know, you've been shooting people in the head you know what I mean, for the last 6 months. And I mean, they've even interviewed some of those snipers from Desert Storm, and they told me, they said, yeah, we had to stop shooting. We were snipers, and we had this area where we always cleared, and we stopped shooting in the head. We always just shot center mass targets because it took a lot of the stress off the snipers.
Damn.
Yeah, because they'd even talked to, had sniper, because I said, man, when you sit there and think about it, man, you done blew probably 50, 60 people's brains across the,
Yeah, man. I don't know. Yeah, that bothered man, forever, really.
Right.
Yo, but you know what's even worse? That people are like putting this on social media and they just keep posting it and posting it. Could you imagine if that was your grandpa?
Yeah, definitely.
Well, that's one reason why, like when I did the show the other day, and people were asking, I did not. I told her, I said, out of respect for the family members, I've seen the videos. I've said I'm not going to show the video here. I said, out of respect for, I'm like this. If you want to go see the videos and you want to see the graphic stuff, you can go do that here. You can come back here and talk about it. But out of respect for the family members and all that.
That shit. It's beyond me. I don't know how the fuck they allow that shit.
Yeah. Yeah, they took it down. I mean, you can't find it now.
Yeah, but I'm sure people have captured that.
Yeah, you're right, man. I mean, it'll pop up again someplace, but like happened on Easter night there, it's like you can't find it.
What a night!
Right.
Now I sit here like just to go to show. I sit here like they were saying. Someone said if he's gonna lie about it, why did he only say 14? He should have said more. He was probably talking about it in Grand Theft Auto. Yeah, I would have. If he'd have said more, then you would probably know that 14 is a more realistic number. If he said, "Yeah, man, I killed 50 people," or wait a minute, ain't 50? We didn't. I mean, think about it. There's 50 people that dropped dead here in Cleveland. We know about it. I mean, to the people far away, to the people that don't live here in the city, and you sit up here and say, "Nah." But for the people, but the people far away, it's like that sounds, and it's really shock value, and that's why they kept talking about like he did it Facebook Live. No, it was not Facebook Live. The police were already on the scene when the video was uploaded. I mean, literally, it was a person who saw him shoot the dude, just happened to see them. They called the police immediately.
No, wasn't Cleveland where they
about living? That's the beauty of living here. The police were called immediately. I don't know if they've started playing the tapes yet, but they've already even played the 911 calls. Have you guys heard that? I don't know.
I ain't heard that yet.
Yeah, they've already played the 911 calls of her calling the police on them. Because like,
whenever he shot the dude, you could hear him over there in the background hollering.
And she, somebody's got their YouTube on, and she, you hear her in the background scream, and then there's a video call, a 911, like a minute later. And that's her talking, and you can hear the woman because in the background, you can tell that's the same person. And they've already played the call. Now here in Cleveland, we've already heard the 911 calls. Now, I don't know if they've played it nationwide, but we've heard it here.
Wow.
I heard it too.
I didn't know that.
Now somebody said, King said, I ain't saying all, but I'm just saying that that's what that vagina do. Make you say crazy shit. So, yeah, you're right. So the girl has to call him. Yeah, I will admit, man. I didn't have one or two right there where afterwards they could have had me saying mama. Yeah, I mean, I ain't gonna lie, but I hope that I never had. I hope I've never go to the extreme like that. But I definitely see where some of the people be like, "Here, take my money." I had one too like that. I can say. But you'd be like, "Are you sure?" If that's what you know what I mean, like literally. But I do admit I've had one or two where it's be like, if that was sex, I'm never doing it again. Yeah. That old man, yeah, Kevin said that old man was caught by surprise. You wanted to jump through the screen and save him. Yeah, I would admit, I thought that too. I saw that and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah, that was awful, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want to watch that again. I've seen that video when he done it.
Huh?
I seen that video when he done it, I mean, like on the news and stuff, they cut off all the, the graphic stuff. But before they took it off the internet, I've seen people kill before and stuff, but I ain't never seen nobody walk up and just shoot a guy right there, point blank. And that was awful, man. I felt so bad for that old dude. It was just terrible.
King,
I feel bad for his.
King says, he said 911 call from when King, I'm gonna say that they had a 911 call of when the caller called, because if you pay attention to that video where she shot him, you could hear a woman screaming in the distance.
Yeah, I heard that.
So like if you pay attention to that area, I was familiar with it. I told her, I said, man, there's houses right across. Well, I remember when I saw the video the first time, I'm like, somebody in one of them houses across the street saw that. And I was like, I'm familiar with that area. I know exactly where that is. And right across the street, she lived in the house right across the street. So like when they were interviewing her, they turned around and you could see the morals they set up for the guy. Right there, I mean, on the thing. But she said I was standing right here in the doorway. She said, I called the police immediately. And they did release the 911 call of her calling, and you could hear her voice, and you could tell that, yeah, because she was, oh my God, you know, the same way there.
Have you done seen where they're trying to say that it was like a hoax and shit like that? Yeah,
I've seen that. Now the only reason why I say that, you know, the good thing about me being in the same city, I have a little bit more firsthand, and then I've had friends who own properties in the area, and they had the police. Right. I mean, the police did, like when the people said we had bodies in this area, they came checking all them houses out. Think about it. If this was a hoax, why would the police, why would our chief of police and all these people doing all this shit if this was a hoax? I'm not saying that you figure, well, fine, they go out, but they came in houses, guns drawn, everything. And they told them, well, we ain't looking for nothing else. They told them, like, we don't give a damn if you're in here smoking weed. We ain't looking for nothing else. We just looking for bodies.
Yeah, they was trying to say, I mean, I just seen things on Facebook and stuff, and it was like, it's a false flag and crap like that, you know. And I said, ain't no false flag. The dude shot the guy, man.
Yeah, the dude shot the guy. If anything, I'll say that the worst thing that's going to happen of us, we're going to just get more censorship on the internet, which is going to hurt the news from getting out. And the reason I don't like more censorship on the internet is because, I mean, we'll become like a country, like almost like a world police wise. We'll become a country where if somebody's going to say something to hurt somebody's feelings, oh, no, don't do that. In which, unfortunately, as long as there's more than one person, there's always going to be somebody out there that's going to get their feelings hurt. It's just what it is.
Yeah, man, right on.
Right.
Somebody always going to get butt hurt.
Right, always. Garcia says, even when you love someone, there's still 1,000,001 in the world, and right. And as much as I love my husband, that's not going to make me go and kill innocent people if he does some dumb shit. That is true. But, I mean, Garcia, here's the question. Do you ever think that you could, as we sit there and say that now, as we are not in that point of depression and all that, but next time that you are really feeling like shit, just think about some things. I mean, we all might do something out of character when we think like shit, when we feeling like shit. And the problem is, with it being a couple billion people in the world, I mean, of course, there's going to be one or two of us out there, there's going to be a percentage of us out there that'll do some really crazy off the wall shit.
Yeah, right on. I just don't want to be one of them dudes, I'll go to drink a beer and calm down.
Right, definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm pretty sure that if they did a study and they could go back and say, I'm pretty sure at least 65% of all drug addicts that are just known and they're just super drug addicts, all of them started from some type of depression somewhere.
Yeah, exactly, man. I mean, that's where a lot of it comes from, is depression and shit. But
right.
It's like some people just, drink or smoke a little weed or something to have fun.
Right.
And then some people drink or do drugs because they just don't want to laugh.
They want to escape.
Yeah,
They want to escape.
Can be merry.
Yeah,
they no sense in drinking and wanting to tear shit up and fuck up everybody. If you're drinking, you turn on some tunes and have a good time. That's what it's all about.
Well,
Margaritaville.
I want to ask Ms. Garcia, would you like to come on the panel? It'd be nice to get a woman on here, get a woman's opinion.
Yeah, right.
Good example is Chris Brown. Oh yeah. We come out here. You get a woman's opinion on what's going on. If you want to come on, let me know.
Man, it took
I
me
figured
3 days.
she's been doing a lot of typing. I figured we could save her hand from work. She said her husband showed us the channel.
Hey man, I got on this channel on Sunday when all that shit went down. I just accidentally found it, you know.
Right.
And it took me till now to figure out how to all this shit on where I can talk to you. Because remember the other night I was trying to tell you, I said, man, I don't know how to do it. I can't figure out the button.
Right.
I finally figured it out. I found the right button to hit.
Right. Well, we'll be doing more. I'll be doing more shows. You know, I can't get to a schedule yet to where I do. But a good way to tell, normally if I do run a show, it's gonna usually start between 8:30 and 11. Very rarely do I go on after 11.
What time is it where you're at?
It is 10:45 where I am. I'm in Cleveland, Ohio.
All right, I'm over here in East Tennessee, and it's 9:50.
Yeah, Tennessee.
Yeah, man. I'm from Atlanta. I'm from Atlanta. Actually, you know, I came from Atlanta, but I moved up here several years ago and got country fried. I guess you could say. Move back to Atlanta if they give it to me.
Okay, I mean, just let me know, and I'll put the link there for you to join. Like I said, I've been gone away. I mean, I think the trolls have left me alone. They popped up for a minute earlier, but they seem to have left. So I don't see any. Especially the other day they popped up, but I haven't been being harassed by the trolls. I feel that that's one good thing about being gone for a while. They kind of leave you alone.
What do the trolls do, man? They aggravate you or something?
Oh no, like I know you just found it, but we've had a lot of YouTube drama, and they always call the black. They call these shows in this area the black sector of YouTube, where like most of the black creators are always fighting with one another. Now I've only had it out with one person. I've had people had it out with me, but the only person I've actually ever had it out with was one guy, and it was never no serious like that. And like I said, even when I attack him, I attack your actions and stuff like that. I don't really attack what you do and all that.
I don't understand why somebody'd want to attack you, man. I figured we'd just get on here and shoot shit. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, listen to that. Somebody said, yeah, speaking of that, somebody said, hello, sir, would you like to come to my show for a one-on-one? You know they put somebody in the chat room, Tommy Sotomayor, that's not the real him. That's probably one of the trolls. But I said, we must have talked it up, the trolls. You know.
I ain't got my YouTube turned on, so I can't see what's going on in the chat room.
Yeah, no. Yeah, I said, no, you can, what you do is you just pause YouTube, that way you can see I said, listen to him, do a one-on-one, yeah, okay. Brother man probably hates me so much, he probably never do no shit like that. If you're going to be a troll, you got to be a better troll than that. And somebody said, King said again, how would you? But in cases of domestic violence, have we seen? You got to put yourself in other shoes. Yeah, you're right. You do have to do that.
Okay, I got my YouTube on thing now, but that ain't going to mess up the thing, is it?
Oh no! As long as you don't have the volume, just click the thing off. You can pop the chat out too. You're right. That'll be, as long as you don't have the volume on to where we hear feedback. Because basically, what happens is it plays through the speakers, and your mic will pick it up and play back.
Yeah, I got it on mute. Yeah.
Yeah, as long as you mute it or that, whatever. Normally, what I do is I just pop out the chat because depending on if your internet connection, you need to have two screens showing the same exact thing. That cuts down on your bandwidth.
Yeah, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah. I mean, if you don't got 5, 6 other things, 5, 6 other people in the house, and your internet connection is fast, it's not a problem, you know.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, I figured it out now.
I said, when you see for this to be a pretty quiet room, I said we got one troll in the room.
One troll.
Yeah, that basically that's basically people make these fake profiles and do all that.
Oh yeah.
All right, good night, Garcia. It was nice having you. Maybe stop back through anytime. Maybe if you want, you can join the panel. You can give us chat and talk and see what you think is going on. But yeah.
Okay, now I got it. Now I can see it. Okay.
Yeah, so that way you can see the chat exactly as while we're, you know, talking. That way too, you can comment on what people say. Do admit a lot of times people sometimes act like a fool. A lot of that, I'll say that from definitely. So you said you just came across our channel, huh?
So tonight, whenever all that stuff was going on, you know, with the shooting and everything, and I seen your channel on there, and it said live, and I thought, all right, maybe somebody knows something. I was just trying to figure out what was going on, you know.
Right.
Yeah, I just seen it on Facebook, and they said dude had shot somebody, and I thought, hell, I'll look it up on YouTube and see what the news said. And I just happened to run across your channel here. I didn't know how to turn all this stuff on where you can talk to anybody. I've never done that before.
Oh yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Oh yeah, I mean, it has its ups and downs. As you see, there's gonna be plenty of people after all this commotion goes down. They're gonna try to do whatever they can in the world to make it to where you can't probably make any lives. Because you know, like,
can everybody else hear me or just you?
No, everybody can hear you.
Holy shit!
This is like literally, like, don't you know how you watched the show the other day? Right.
Yeah.
After today, it'll be up online and you can go back and watch it afterwards.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Oh man, I gotta get me one of them video cameras.
Well, I mean, you webcam in your computer. I don't know. There's a little button up at the top when you scroll up to the top of the box that we're in talking, and you can turn the camera on if you wanted people to see you.
Yeah, I gotta get.
Just make sure that you.
When I get this sheetrock on this week, I'm gonna get one. Sit here and drink beer and bullshit with you guys all that.
Oh yeah, man. You know, we used to actually do this quite often.
This is cool as hell, man.
Yeah, I mean, we used to actually do this quite often.
What happened to the other dude, man? Where'd he go?
Oh, I think he said it. Who? Which guy? The other guy? I think he fell off. The Lethal said he'll be back.
Was that his name?
The guy I know, yeah, his name is Lethal. The other guy.
Oh. That was bullshit.
We've been in a couple of chats before. He was working with us earlier.
Oh yeah?
Yeah, he was from back in the day. He said, King Baka, he said, who must be the troll? Who? Oh, I've had it. Yeah, you're right. Most of the time, you can tell from those accounts like that. Yeah, he's a troll. They're a troll. I said we must have talked them up by saying that. A lot of times too, you can tell when the trolls come off, especially when you see a big spike in the viewers. Especially like if you're a channel and you only get about 15, 20 people, and then they jump up to 22, you probably got 2, 3 trolls in the room, and they're about to do something ignorant. I mean, a lot of that, man. I said, say you're new to it. You hang around a while, you'll see a lot of that, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit.
Oh man, it's like I said, it's something to do to kill time. I look at it like it's a cheap form of entertainment.
Yeah, man, right on. You get to hang out with some people and just shoot shit.
Yeah, you get it's a cheap form of entertainment.
Yeah, my girl ain't here tonight, and I'm here by myself and just listen to some tunes and have a cold beer. And getting to talk to a bunch of people all over the goddamn world.
Oh yeah. Another thing, best thing, like I said, that especially that we do that a lot, and especially like if you're one of those people that play video games, that's when you sit up and say, wow, you sit up here and you're playing a video game with somebody who live in a completely different time zone. I can play video games. Like I was a gamer. Yeah, I don't play that much often here and there. Like literally, I used to do that a lot before I started doing the YouTube thing. And to me, I think that's what helped me develop more of a thick skin. So when people talk shit and talk about me or try to bring personal shit involved and try to get me off my zone, it doesn't bother me as much because I was a gamer. And in the gamer, world, people talk a lot of shit. I mean, most of the time you're playing like a first-person shooter. So basically you're playing war games and you got to shoot the other people. So, you got to be on your P's and Q's. Otherwise, you're going to get killed. So you want to, people talk shit just to throw you off. I mean, look, I've been called.
DMZ is outside my window.
Oh yeah. I mean, especially if you entertain them, they'll definitely keep coming. They'll mess with you all the time. Just to they keep out your window. But shit, tell them motherfuckers to bring me some money.
Tell them bring me some more beer.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Get you pull.
Now, I will admit this. I don't play games that often, but I'm a Destiny head. I love Destiny. Literally, before I played a little bit of Call of Duty back in the day, but compared to others, compared to other game, literally, I played more Destiny than probably every game added up in my life. I love me some Destiny. That's my game.
I never heard of that one.
Yeah, Destiny.
Wait
a minute, Justin, you play Destiny too?
Oh, Brado said his battery died. Well, you can come back in. It allows you to come back in if you leave. Once you've been invited, unless I kick you out, it'll allow you to come back in if you wanted to come back in.
Oh, that's cool, man. I saved that side on.
Well, this Hangout, how it works is this. This Hangout here, you'll be able to come back in, but like when we start another show tomorrow, or if I like break the show up into 2 parts and we do a second part, then yeah, it'll do that. It'll allow you can come back into this Hangout and leave. Like I said, you had to go to the bathroom, you leave and come back. But when we do another show tomorrow, it'll be a different link. You gotta click.
Oh, it'll be a different link tomorrow.
Yeah, well, each show is a different link. They don't like let you string them together.
Oh, okay. Well, I need to delete that one I saved.
King says Destiny 2 was yeah, I know. I do admit I actually watched I'm one of those ones. I like the game that much, even though I may not always get online and play. But I was one of those ones. I like the Cade 6 commercials. Especially like he's sitting there in the bar drinking a drink and he's just talking about, oh yeah, man, I just went in here. Oh man, you should have saw it, man. It was an ugly contest and like everybody was the winner. So he's like, I shot this guy. I shot this guy over there, and I shot another couple guys just for good measure. It's like, and the guy looked at me like, yeah. I said, you got to be. And I think Destiny has the best commercials for a video game. They just make you want to. If you've never played the game before, you would want to play after just watching those commercials. Oh man, you gotta get Destiny 2, man. See, if I would have known you a little bit longer ago, you play on PS4 or do you play on Xbox? I play on Xbox. I give you my gamer tag if you're on Xbox.
I ain't got no Xbox either.
Oh no, you gotta get you one. I would admit, a lot of times I've heard women say, "Oh my gosh, grown men that play video games." I don't care what you say. It's a good, cheap form of entertainment.
Yeah.
You might invest. Think about it. You might invest some money up front. Where people say, "Well, wow, you paid $500 for a video game," but then all the hours you put playing it, you're like, "Well, damn, if I'd have went out for this many hours, I would have spent 20 times as much."
Yo, what up?
What up? Yeah, well, you say your phone went out, huh?
No, my computer.
Oh, your computer. Oh, okay. But yeah, you know that you have an Android phone.
Yeah.
Who, me?
You know that if your phone and your computer, if your account is linked on there, you can just pick up your phone and hit the button hit the Hangout, because Hangout is downloaded on every phone. Hit the Hangout on there, and you can come right back in that way too. Phone works too.
True. Learn something new every day.
Yeah. Crazy saying, I know the price of beer is up. Yeah. I'm not a beer drinker. I'm a hard liquor man myself. I prefer hard liquor.
You said, what's up? I thought, hell, the price of beer's up. Yeah, I like some whiskey from time to time.
All right, Plum. See you later on. I know you said that a couple minutes ago. Yeah. No, I'm not a, like I said, not a big beer drinker. I'm a Jack Daniels man myself. I prefer Jack.
I come from down here in Tennessee.
Right, I know. As I said, you should know. I'm pretty sure you drink Jack.
Oh yeah,
Number 7.
Yeah.
Old number 7.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went through there in Lynchburg last year. I sent to Talladega to the race, and we had to go through Lynchburg. They had
So
a
Ricky
big Jack Daniels thing going on.
Mhm.
Say what?
You see Ricky Bobby?
I didn't get to see Ricky Bobby, man. That's funny.
You ever seen the movie?
I seen the movie, man. Talladega Nights. Hey, I spent the whole week down there, man. I went down there, tent, stayed for like 6 days. Yeah, no shit. It was pretty cool.
Mhm.
I gotta get me one of them cameras, man. I wonder how much one of them things cost.
Oh, you can get a decent webcam like the one I'm using. You know, I'm not no big YouTuber. The one I'm using, I only paid like $45 for.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking about, 40, 50 bucks up at Walmart or something.
Just get you like any one of the decent Logitech ones. Spend about 40, 50 bucks, you cool.
Oh, yeah?
I'm not no serious YouTuber to where, you know, I'm doing all like that, you know, so.
Yeah, this is the first time I ever even made this microphone work like this. Like I said, I got one of them laptops, but it's slow, man. And I don't know, it might work, but it ain't got enough RAM in it to where I can get Windows 8 on it. You know, it ain't got enough RAM for that.
Yeah,
so
it might be time to upgrade, buddy.
No, the one I'm using now, my computer, it's you know, but I got a couple of laptops in there, but I don't ever use them. I was just gonna get one of them cameras and hook up here. That'd be cool as hell. I talked to this chick I know up in Canada.
Oh, okay. Got
Yeah,
you.
something like
Canadian woman, huh?
Canadian,
No,
eh?
no, I ain't got no hair. So, we'll talk about that in a private message. Private chat or something. There.
Right. Do that on the after show.
Hell yeah, man. Man,
Right.
you one cool dude, you know what?
Yeah, man. I feel you. Oh yeah, like I said, it used to be a big group of us in the beginning. It was, I mean, had to be. We used to do this all the time. Had to be at least about 30 of us, and we were all connected. We were all connected on our phones and everything. So like, literally throughout the day, you could just hop on and talk to. You know, it seemed like when you got like 30, 40 people in a room, it's always gonna be people online. Always. Like, I mean, like literally, so basically like you just push the button on your phone and you see, oh, it's 5 people talking, you can just hop in and we just had a hangout, we never closed. And that's what we used to do.
Really?
Like, hell yeah, I mean, it was fun because I would admit I used to sit there and laugh. I'd be chopping it up more with the people on the internet than I did with the people in real life. You'd be at work, still talking to them. Because, you know, it's kind of nice. You always got your phone with you, you know. So.
No,
You know,
I
that's
ain't
never
got
been
one of them smartphones, man.
Yeah,
I just got one of these little flip phones, you know. I've had the same goddamn phone for about, I don't know, 7 or 8 years.
You got a flip phone. Oh, brother, man, it's time to come to the new age, man. You gotta get rid of
My girlfriend keeps telling me she's got one of them big ass fucking phones and, you know, it won't even hardly fit in her back pocket. I'm like, what do you need that for? I mean, goddamn, you just gotta call somebody. What the hell? And she's going, no, I got a whole computer like you got right there in your bedroom. I got one right here in my hand.
Right.
You know, well, I don't know.
Once you have a smartphone, sometimes after you say, wow, man, I realized.
It's like that one dude said on that Sonic commercial. He said, I got a smartphone. I use it every day and I ain't getting no smarter.
No, but once you have one that say, you got a smartphone, we used to say, I used to joke, say, look, you got a smartphone, dumb user.
You mean if I had a smartphone, one of them smartphones like what you're talking about, like what I was telling you my girlfriend's got, I could sit here and do this and talk to you, or get on the shoot.
Yeah, if you were in a hangout, yeah. If you're in a hangout, you can talk to like whoever's in there. I mean, you can sit there and talk like this, even if we're not like live doing a show. As long as you're in a hangout with the person, yeah, you'll be able to, see and talk to them.
I guess.
Or like sometimes not even that. A lot of people like the smartphone because, say, I want to sit and chat with you guys, but I don't want to have to sit in front of the computer. So like with the smartphone, you had your earpiece connected, and you can walk around the house doing whatever you got to do, and still, you know what I mean?
Oh, that makes sense. See, it's kind of like if I was to sit here and talk to you and tell you the difference between, say, a Gibson Les Paul and a Fender Stratocaster. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah, it'd probably be Greek to you, and this stuff here is kind of Greek to me, I've been on a computer for years, but I just ain't
Isn't
know this.
Hendrix had?
Say what?
Isn't a Les Paul what Hendrix had?
Hendrix, Jimi Hendrix?
Yeah.
Oh, hell yeah, man. I got a picture of him hanging up in the living room.
I think he got Eric Clapton as well.
Say again?
Eric Clapton.
Oh, yeah, man. Yeah, I like Clapton. Eddie Van Halen, he's one of my favorites.
The Les Paul.
The Last Fall.
Yeah, you're talking about the guitar.
Oh, yeah, Les Paul. Yeah, Gibson Les Paul. Yeah, I got one of them. I got Eric Clapton. He plays the Stratocaster.
All right, you out here, man. Okay, what I said is I thought you were coming through later on. You said, but yeah, I'll keep the shows going. We'll do more shows here every so often.
Hey, Dre.
Yeah.
Have you been keeping up with YouTube?
No, I haven't been keeping up with YouTube. What's been going on?
No, it's not my business to say, but just seeing all the shit that's been going on lately.
Nah, man, what has been going on?
I don't know, man. You know who NBA?
Yeah,
NBA,
I know who he is.
He seems like he's sided with the big guy.
Okay.
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah, you can say his name. I'm not like that. I just we ain't like we talk about.
I don't want to start stepping on toes, man.
No, man. I'm gonna tell you like this is.
Yes.
Nowadays, anytime any little thing hurts their feelings, man. I've learned that sometimes you don't even have to.
Yeah, they're emotional.
Right. I mean, I've learned that. Like the last time when me and NBA supposedly got into it, he thought I was talking about him. And
No,
so bad I wasn't.
I remember.
I was actually talking about, as you referred to him, as the big guy. But he thought I was
No,
talking
you
about
know
him.
the big guy.
Right.
The guy who thinks he's the king.
Mhm.
I don't know. They're teaming up against like Freeman and Covert Radio. I don't know. That Covert Radio is pretty funny, man. I had to say it, but he's funny.
Yeah, Covert. I know who Covert is. Back in my.
Freeman's a little crazy, but aren't we all?
Huh?
Freeman's a little crazy, but aren't we all?
Oh, definitely.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We all got, everybody's a little crazy in some way, you know what I mean? We're all a little we're all
I mean, not crazy like Steve Stevens, but that's a different crazy.
Yeah. Definitely. That's it. So I haven't. What video did he diss you? Now, what do you mean, King? You talking to me or you referring to someone else? Yeah. Right.
Boy, I sure hated no Chuck Berry down the other day.
I was trying to see what King was talking about there. But I said,
I don't know.
what do you mean? Yeah. And what video did he diss me? Are you talking about? This was back then. I don't know if he's referring to that. Oh yeah, he pulled a little number back in the day. I used to actually be. I was one of the first hosts of the. There was a channel he had. It was called the You Dig.
No, he still has it.
On the show in the beginning. Huh?
He still has that.
Yeah, he still has it, but like literally, and when I was doing the whole show then, I mean, I thought we were pretty good. I mean, we have about 150 to 200 sometimes people watching. I mean, one of the things that some people didn't like, I ran shows constantly. I mean, basically, if I had 8 hours off that day, we did, after work, I did 8 hours a show.
If you don't mind, were you getting paid?
Huh?
Were you getting paid to do that?
No, I wasn't getting paid to do that. I was doing it for fun. I was doing it for fun, and I always advertised. I said I always advertise his stuff. So I mean, that's what bothered me more than anything when everything went sideways. It was like I never asked the man for nothing, but then like when shit hit the fan, he made it seem like he did a lot of stuff for me, and at first he made it seem like he did things for me. So people were thinking that he paid me or did whatever. And then now afterwards, after a few weeks, it all came out. He admitted that no, he never paid me, but basically he was saying I gave you a place to go. And I'm like, well, wait a minute. The people that were sitting up there watching all the videos and talking to with me, they were there because of me. It wasn't like you because he never came through the show, but maybe like when I was running the shows, I probably did 100 shows. He probably came through there 3 times. So it wasn't like, you know what I mean?
You mean it cost us?
Well, we were here because it was his channel. Y'all were here because it was something to do and we had good conversations. I had the same rules I had there. We don't talk about other YouTubers. We don't do no personal attacks, you know, and stuff like that.
I don't know any other YouTubers. I don't even know what a YouTuber is, man.
Well, just YouTubers, we just say people who create content. We don't talk about, you know, that was just one of our things. We don't talk about people.
Do you got to like pay to run this thing?
Oh, no. If you get big enough, you will get paid. But, I mean, since I've been running YouTube, since I've been on YouTube, I've never made any money. I mean,
I talking about making money.
You got to make $100 before they even give you a check anyway. And I think that since my whole thing, I've probably made about $70 in all the videos that I posted on this channel. So you see, even though, and I sit there and laugh because I've been gone all this time, but the last 3 videos I did, YouTube, they did that monetization thing where I see they don't pay for certain videos. The last 3 videos I did, they say can't be monetized. So basically,
you can make it. You can make a video on here, and YouTube will pay you for it.
Yeah, if enough people watch it, you'll get paid. Yeah.
I mean, like, say if I was to get my guitar and teach them how to play a song, and put it on YouTube, YouTube would pay me to.
Yeah, if you get enough, if enough people watch it. You will get.
I didn't know that.
When they run an ad in front of your video, yeah. Like I mean, yeah. If you really start, like if you good singing, playing guitar, and all that, yeah. Make videos of yourself singing, playing the guitar, something to do for fun. I mean,
that's pretty cool. I didn't know that, man.
Okay, hey, like right, Bella. I said, yeah. Just came by and say hi. I appreciate it.
Okay, so this is your channel, so I can get on your channel anytime, and then you send me a link, and then this pops up.
Well, yeah, anytime we're live
on here, man.
But it doesn't. I mean, each show will have a different link to get on the live part to where people are talking, where we're talking here.
Okay. So, like tomorrow night, or hypothetically speaking, say tomorrow night, if you get online or you get on your channel here, you just send the link, and then I click on that, and then you add me to it, and then we're back bullshitting.
Right.
Oh, cool, man. That's pretty far out. I got to drink more beer. This is pretty cool. With a bunch of cool guys and don't even leave the house.
Well, I did it because to me,
when I was doing it back when I first started doing the show back then, I just thought it was fun to shoot the shit with people. You get different opinions.
Yeah, man.
You know,
Yeah,
you
man,
can
that's
talk
right
to people
on.
all over the world. You hear, like I would admit, some
Yeah,
things
man,
I
it's
never
pretty cool.
considered until I listened to other opinions. And it's been times where I have been so set, oh, I'd never do this, that, and the other. But then you sit and talk to people who have a way totally different way of looking at something. And then at the end, you look up and say, well, wait a minute, you know what? I actually changed my opinion. I actually agree with you now.
Yeah, it's like,
Before,
what's
I
your
would have
opinion
never
on
thought about it that way.
Jimi Hendrix or Frank Sinatra? Yeah, I like them both. I can dig both for kinds of music, but yeah, I can listen to Strangers in the Night or Purple Haze, either one.
Well, I mean, I don't follow my musicians all like that. I mean, I like.
We've talked about
but
everything
I couldn't tell you who sang a song to save my life. Like even I listen to a lot of rap music even still. Half the time I couldn't tell you the person. Someone said, name whoever sang that song. Unless it's an old song from back when I was younger, I couldn't tell you who sang it.
Useless information when it comes to music. But hell, man, I've been sitting here bullshit with you for a couple hours, right? And we've talked about every goddamn thing.
Oh, yeah, I mean,
cool.
That was one of the things we used to do. I mean, it was always something to talk about, you know, problems, everything, things that's going on in the world and everything and all that for life, you know, what we're doing and all like that.
Well, there's three things that me personally, it's like three things that you shouldn't talk about: politics, religion, and her.
Technically, on our show, we were guilty of all of that. We talked about that a lot. But
hey, man.
Well, I think this show has actually been about 3 hours. What I'll do is I'll stop this show. We'll start another one if you guys want to. I see how many people. Oh, it's only 8 people. I don't know. You guys want to go for another show? We'll see. I'll go ahead and put the link in the chat room. But I would go ahead and end that. I want to thank you guys for. You don't have to leave yet, man. I want to thank you guys for coming to the show. Please like, share, subscribe. Definitely hit the donate button down there because that's what pays for everything. All right, guys, we'll see you on the flip side. I posted the link in the chat. We'll be talking after hours. If you want to join, just click that link right there, and you'll still be able to talk to us after the show is over with. See you on the flip side.
Okay, so I got a